to kill this baby specifically.
Yeah, kill the.
There's more babies. Be a bit more efficient.
Which would be about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because I gotta do my pre.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, let me go to this screen.
Wait, it's time.
Let me go to this screen. Hi.
Please?
We can make snowball?
Yeah, but it's... I'm trying to...
Hold on, I have to recalibrate
There's a
myself.
thing. There's a thing. Collect snow.
Hey, how are ya?
Oh, you crouch. Ow. How did you eat? It is E.
Yeah. But there was a thing. Oh, I think it's this. Okay, wait. Oh,
What are you trying to do?
Remember the snowball? Remember the big ball? Remember we like made a giant snowball?
Oh,
we
I
like
remember,
rolled this
yeah.
around, but like I'm trying to.
I thought there was a way to
Why
make
is this
snow
the
angels, too.
heaviest ball of snow I've ever experienced in my life? There we go. Oh my god. Come on. Come on, wiggle. Wiggle. Wiggle.
How's
there we go.
volume,
We're getting
guys?
somewhere.
Is it
We're getting
good?
somewhere.
Hello,
Alright,
Cog.
everybody
Hello,
has to watch
Shark.
my
Hello,
frickin'
Le
hand
Poisson
spaz on the frickin'
Francais.
screen.
Hello, Ren, I love you. Hello,
Wiggle,
Shade.
wiggle, wiggle,
Hello,
wiggle, wiggle,
Sunny.
wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Hello, hello, hello.
See, big ball. Peas and I were
Do
messing
not
around.
panic.
Yeah?
Peas and I were messing around.
Look at this.
Oh.
Look at my giant ball.
Do not
Did
panic.
I what? I did not coop up no chickens. Why would I coop up the chickens? I did not.
My face.
stoic,
when I
run.
freaking grab you. Here we go.
Shade. Woo. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, peace never. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then there's also, yeah, at some point it like freaked out and then it just disappeared. That's a big ball. How did this open after we completed it?
I believe so, yeah. We get more area the more levels we complete.
Flame. Giant
Now we can both push it.
ball.
Now we can all push it.
Yay! And then we can all push it. I don't think there's this much snow in the backyard.
How is everybody today?
I'm so excited. Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Nice laying down T-pose. Thanks.
Like a Beyblade.
There we go.
Don't make footstep sounds when
Just
crouching.
gotta adjust my cake.
Adjust your
Huh?
cake. Throw it back.
He has to
Mashi.
adjust the seat that he has, the cushion for his
Throw it
cake.
back.
Fucking
Throw it back. Throw it back. Throw
jet
it back.
cushion, bro.
I can do that. Where's the music coming from? Oh, I was
Oh,
thinking,
my.
did I?
Where's the
Oh.
music coming from? How do you twerk?
Alt and then 2.
I twerk.
How do
you
you
throw
twerk?
it back. You just,
How do
yeah.
I?
Yeah, you just throw it back.
Do it.
I shouldn't be
Why does
allowed to
my-
operate heavy machinery.
What the heck?
no.
Yeah, where'd you get that?
I found it on the side of the road. I peed on it. It's mine.
Aww. Can I
that
stand
would
on
stop
it?
Mashy.
Maybe.
Oh god,
Oh!
this is
hold
an
on.
OSHA violation.
Wait, what if you? What is it?
Oh, can you bring the snowball? That's be funny.
Oh, I
but
didn't
the
try.
snowball's stuck. Wait,
Are you
can I go
forklift
around?
certified?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh.
Certainly not.
Wait.
I just pushed it.
Oh. What?
Oh, what? You
Thank you
pushed
for the
it
follow
in
box.
deeper. Oh, are you pushing
Pushed
it
it
this way?
in deeper?
I don't know what to do with this. How do I leave? Great.
You're stuck there. I think the ball's stuck.
It is stuck. Can you
That's my
push it?
bad. I rammed
Here,
it.
I'll
I
help you.
rammed it with the.
I'll help you push it.
See if I can get over there.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
oh God.
It drives like a toaster.
I didn't know toasters could drive.
She
You know
might
what?
be
That's
able to do
kind of
this.
cool.
That's that's why
Stoic might
it
be
drives so
muted,
poorly.
I fear. Stoics? Oh.
Stoic's not talking.
Must be a moderator to do this.
He's okay. Well, we're gonna have to do a 25-point turn. Hold on. Damn it.
Ah, she.
Damn.
Does the closed captioning show up on the VOD?
Please.
You should watch it back and listen
guys
to
not
what
hear
you're
me?
saying and what
I can hear
Sushi
you.
puts out.
This is not going well. Does anyone else
no,
want to try this?
it doesn't
This is
save
not
to the
going
VOD.
Hello. It's me.
Wait, can I make the forklift go up? Oh, I got out.
I have no idea.
Me. Hello.
Can you make this go up?
Me.
I want to get up into there. Lift me up. Oh! Okay, forward.
Okay.
Lift
Forward.
me up. Lift me up inside. Can't lift up. Lift me up
I
inside.
can't. No. Oh!
Almost-
I can't go
almo-
in here. That totally looked like it
Oh,
was supposed to be able to
invisible
go.
wall.
Wow, it's just a
Man.
black void on the other side of that wall. Where are we?
Yeah.
It is a black void out there. That's terrifying.
He's quiet and embarrassing because he's over here.
Hello.
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 Oh, it's me. I'm gonna flip over to my live screen now.
Oh,
Join the
Okay.
club.
I'm going to.
we're in
Full
Ohio.
impression.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Pro Stoic, Self-Up Life Vice Variety Gaming VTuber. We're joined by Keepy VT, Horror Circus Kitty VTuber, and Pumpkin Dio, who is a squints shape-shifting entity with sharp teeth, and Mashimaro VT, who
Mashimaro
is a
VT.
cottage
Fizz.
core golden retriever VTuber. Oh shit, I need to change that to Stoic is a very good boy. The other one.
No!
I'm gonna do that now.
Why?
No, this is a private conversation I'm having between my chat right now and I, if you don't mind.
chat. Is it private? Am I not
I
right
like
here?
dicks.
Can you not see
Nope,
me?
that's not it.
Stoic is a very good boy.
There we go.
Hi, Fliss Split. Hi, Fliss Split. Hi.
Stoic is a very
Ahoy.
good boy.
QPVT. There we go. Perfect. Literally
Can I
perfect.
have a
Really need to
version
turn
with
down the
Mashi as a
sound.
very good girl?
You want me to say that
Can
for
you
you?
do that for her? Do that for Mashi?
Mashi is a very good girl.
Yeah, dude.
Flip it!
She got way more sauce than I did. What the fuck?
I wasn't trying to. You want me to redo it? You want me to redo your sound clip?
You're
No.
welcome.
No, I'm over it.
Okay, fine. Fuck
He
you.
is a very good boy.
I'm over
Why
it.
did you...
He is a very good boy.
Yes, I am.
Hi, Zilla. Hi.
Hello.
I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to do it directly into the microphone. If somebody
Oh,
doesn't mind clipping
okay.
it, I'd really appreciate that. I'm okay. That's all I need to do was to warn it. What are we doing? What is this? This is Zort. This is like this is a 4-person horror game.
Something or other.
Game.
Can my chat
Mostly
please tell
silly
me or
game.
confirm that everything is okay? Like if the sound is okay? Because we're using proximity chat, so the audio bounce is going to be a little bit different. Will be a little bit different.
Is that too loud? Stoic, can you speak?
I'm wearing my motherfucking headset backwards. I'm gonna sneeze.
I thought you already sneezed.
Oh.
Ooh.
She's a very good girl.
Oh.
What do you all look
Oh
like
my
a blue
God,
version of
that
Pea Shooter from Plants vs.
terrified me.
Zombies? I have no idea. This is
Thanks.
things for Plants vs.
Oh, you
Zombies.
got
with
it. How do I
Lady
throw it?
Rose. Christian 11,
Hold
Catherine,
E,
YouTube
press.
chat. Audio okay so far, but also odd. It is gonna be a little bit odd.
Oh god.
Catch.
Audio's gonna be a little bit different. Do you want me to? Holy shit!
Ow.
Did you just throw that fucking thing at me?
Ouch!
What's wrong with you, bro?
Ow.
God.
I want
Oh,
it.
Can
God.
Cody can avoid any voice, and I accept it. I would. You're right. You're 100% right.
Stop me! Whoa.
You can't throw boomerang
Blue
at
mode today
dog.
because we're in
A
blue
catch.
characters right now. We're blue people, so I'm gonna be wearing my blue hair. And Callisto Malfoy is responsible for giving me the idea to swap to blue hair. And I literally worked with her for like 45 minutes to get it to the exact shade of blue that she wanted. Honestly, fucks.
Snacks and spells. I
Blue,
appreciate
we're
it.
fucking for you.
Ow. Fuck, man.
Ouch.
Brother.
Do I have snow on me? Oh, this is my.
Welcome into
Oh,
Wolf
this
Bear.
is my
How are
card.
you doing? Let me
This is my
adjust the
card,
game volume to be
everybody.
louder for
You can't
me.
see. You can't see my card because I'm covering it.
Could just
Card.
How do you do that? Oh, you're just
Card?
holding it.
let me change my.
Thank
audio
you so much
compression a
for
little
the
bit.
follow, the Bota Bear. I appreciate
Da
it.
boy.
Yay!
The
Follow
patch.
Pumpkin.
We love
The
the
boat.
like
Thank you for the
25.
follow.
And threshold,
Thank
we'll do.
you. Here, I'll give
15.
you a boomerang. Boomerang.
It's a little bit louder.
I really am bad at. Oh, I'm in the Christmas tree.
Thank you
Okay.
to Scott to handle for the follow.
That's probably as loud as
Thank
I
you so
want
much
it to be.
for
Let me know
the
if it is
follow
if it's
to
too loud,
Scott
chat.
to handle. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you,
Under the
Conzilla.
pumpkin patch.
It's nice to meet you,
Thank
enjoy for
Conzilla.
emotes.
Conzilla.
Conzilla.
Alright, how we play this game?
I think
Ow.
we-
All for
I-
emo. Oh yeah, you can twerk chat.
I think
Yeah.
we touched this thing. Ah!
I think something
Ouch.
is wrong with my ass though. Something's wrong with my ass because if you look at like
Your
is the entirety
spine
of that my
is
ass?
messed
Ow.
up.
We have
I got a
Um,
fucked up spine, man.
So, oh, it's
yes,
BMO. I
guys.
didn't know BMO was here.
I'm just gonna. This is me every
I
day.
don't like reading, now I alert because I had the doctor thing earlier and it wasn't a good doctor thing. I'm still doing the anxiety thing. I feel that, Felicity. Let me know anytime you need me.
Oh, this is how
Anxiety?
you pick a picture. You pick a picture.
Oh my
Love
god,
for
we
you,
hit the
chat. I know
follower
you won't tell
goal.
me.
Thank you so much for the follow, you guys.
Compressor,
Congratulations.
and then we'll raise it to like
Yay.
30.
Ow. Oh, I caught it.
Gotta
Should be
update
good.
the follower goal
Yay, follower
now.
goal.
Oh! Oh!
It's too aggressive. I need to bump it back up a little bit.
Ah!
27. I think 27 is perfect. Tell you what, D's nuts.
Oh, he moved.
Oh my god, Jane, you're so funny.
Ow. My
Press
butt.
this, click
My
this.
butt.
Oh my
Click this.
god.
Hi,
There we
Captain.
go.
Oh. Oh.
Away we go.
Thank you for the Lurkzilla.
Oh, cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm remembering.
Hey, father, wake up.
Who's holding
I'm
her tummy? Whose
remembering.
tummy hurts?
My tummy hurts.
IRL.
My tummy wummy. Mer. Hee hee.
Tummy always hurting.
Notices you have a tummy hurting.
Episode 1. Stoic is a
Zorda
very good
Jean.
boy.
Oh,
God damn it.
Oh, we're just in each other. Okay, we all have
Scott
community. I'm
starting from the
remembering that.
beginning.
I
Yes,
remember,
Stoic has never played this and
Ticket
neither has
price
Keith.
$21.
They just
Well, it's
updated
like
it.
an
They added
escape
the third
room.
chapter.
They added
What is this?
That's sort of.
the... There's a lot going on right now.
Granite molasses.
Welcome in, Irina.
Hi, Narita. Oh my god.
Look, it's not Poppy from Poppy.
Oh my god,
This
Cartoon,
is
wait.
Poppy playtime level. Oh my god, I don't remember that.
Sweet for that. Real for that though. You like that? Hmm? Want to open a bakery? They've got plenty of cake for you.
Okay.
What do we? Okay, we have to figure out how to get out, I guess.
No, don't let me in.
We are fucking trapped, bro. It's been 2 seconds. We are
We
fucking
can't
trapped,
go
man. It's
anywhere.
over.
So
Oh, wait, no, we just have to.
don't
I saw something
make-
pop up.
don't make loud.
Oh yeah, we have
What?
to be kind of.
Oh, I'm turning on the TV.
Noise.
Forgot
What was that?
how
What was
to-
that? What was? I just something happened. Something
Don't
happened.
make
I-
loud.
Don't make loud.
Chat,
Something
we've
happened.
just
We all
gotten
have to
this.
line
We
up
got
in
game
the
for like 2 minutes.
Figure. Oh, you made loud. Oh. Alright. I'll just close that out. real
Anime
Get a
waifu?
picture of my desktop. I'm kidding. I don't have that on there.
quick. With the default
nice
gateway
words.
background.
Okay, how do we? Oh, we.
Thank you
have
for the
to...
bits, Dio.
Oh,
I
thank
appreciate
for the
you.
flashlight.
Minty, how are you doing?
Wait, did you beat the Elden Beast? I was able to watch the very ending.
I'm going.
That is one dude.
Oh my.
Oh, I need to get out my
Oh,
key
press
card.
E.
Terrible.
Press E.
Okay,
Wait.
don't touch that.
What? Yeah. Press...
I'm in.
Yeah, we're
I'm
in.
genius.
We're a
Got a
genius.
flashlight. I found it on the floor.
Zordagane.
There are holes in the ground.
Wait, is.
Wow.
Oh god, I'm sorry.
You did steal it from yourself, yes, cool.
Background is little guy stuff. How do you know that?
We're looking for keys, I think.
I didn't mark it and I saw it. Oh, look at that little guy on the ground.
The fuck?
That's crazy. That's wild.
What was that?
I don't know.
What happened?
Mimic.
What'd I do?
No idea.
Chat, this is too spoopy.
Oh.
Push the button
To
for
do the
exit.
VTuber thing, I'm gonna ask you to hold my hand.
Oh.
I can't leave this.
Well,
Okay, there we go.
how about this? How I open? Gas
Find the
can in
elevator
there?
key.
Empty oh, to make noise.
What'd she do?
I don't know. I just found this thingy.
She been liking it?
Music
we have,
improves
stuff we can
mental
put on our
health.
car.
We
That
have
should be in the
mental health in
basket.
this game.
I realize that.
Where's the mental health bar?
Really?
Sorry, I'm sorry, please.
Hold your own hand. You produce fire from your hand? Yeah, but I can turn it off. Never light your hand on fire while I'm.
What? What?
You activated the
What?
bad thing.
Rubik's Cube, it might be a... Me?
This game is doing a
Oh.
really good job of like making spooky things happen, like from the corners of your eyes.
Yeah, you have mental health. So, to fix it, you need
Don't
to go
fall in the
listen to
hole.
music.
Don't fall in the hole. You'll. Don't,
You wanna go in the hole?
don't go in the hole.
Wait, where's
Wanna
the
go in the
other
hole?
one?
This
Uh-oh.
will keep you
Did they fall
sane
in
if
the
you
hole?
touch it. If you start like. Oh,
I might
never
fall in the
mind.
hole. I think I do want to fall in the hole. I want to go in the
Where's
hole. I feel like I
Keith?
should.
I feel like you maybe. Oh, okay.
Alright. Alright, aren't these to... It's to revive
Yes.
Oh my god! I
them.
bled!
You did die! I
You
called
did.
it.
die.
Yeah, I fell in the hole, and then that was a nightmare.
Okay, can you revive Stoic
Like,
now?
Where's the other one?
I
Where's
swear I
Stoic?
saw one. If you
Well,
find a
we
little
need
plushie,
another
we
one of
can
the
revive
Zorts.
Stoic.
My mental health is getting bad. I'm gonna go listen to some music.
I
Use a
lost
Rubik's
my-
Cube.
I lost my-
Oh, there's money.
Yeah, but music is better. I'm gonna be honest, a
Flash
Rubik's
drive.
Cube in real life does not improve my mental health.
No.
This is not
Wait a
so sad.
second. One of these things are not like the other. Not our friends. You're not real. Wait a second.
Hype
None of
train.
you are real. Mashi? Mashi! I have
I'm
a
right here. I'm by the
problem.
vending machine. I'm jumping
Oh.
on by the vending machine.
You didn't see them, did you? You
I did
didn't
see
just
them.
see all those Zorts.
Can you maybe you could buy a Zort?
Okay. I can buy ramen.
Okay, we need more money. Can't believe it.
I wonder
believe
if that's
this.
why we weren't supposed to touch those other ones. Did we accidentally touch all of them and now they're... Wait a second, hold up. I think I have an answer to this question.
Oh! Oh god! Oh no!
Oh no, it's fake.
He stole cheese.
Where did the other... Oh, it got taken. Oh, bother.
Okay, so
Oh, why are they not real? Why are things not real?
Because mimics. I don't know. Okay, let's see.
can
So
I rob this
have-
cash register for money?
Oh. Okay, I got one. I had one in my inventory. I didn't realize.
Holy shit!
Hello.
Don't go
Welcome
into that
back.
hole, bro.
I
It's
literally said don't go into the hole. Did he go in the hole again? Chat. Did he go in the hole again?
That makes sense. Oh, fudge,
my
I'm sorry,
God.
brother.
Oh!
Oh
We
my
gotta,
god.
I feel like we have to get the generators going.
I think he fell in the hole as well.
Are you... You know what? That's fine. You know what? I'm proud of him. I'm proud. Okay, leave me alone! Leave me alone, demon! Why is mimicking Mashy's freaking laugh?
Who am I gonna summon? Who am I gonna summon?
Holy shit, I fucking hated where I went. I thought I just died, okay? But I went somewhere and you guys were there, but you were silhouettes and you were talking in languages I didn't understand and you were whipping your
We
head
were
up
probably
and down.
talking backwards.
Yes, I'm probably heading to bed soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kate.
So because we're just going on TikTok and see you live. This is here on Twitch where I belong.
Okay.
So it says user 7396392982820. Hi Stoic, I just want to say it's wild to see you on TikTok. Yeah, I'm trying to be cool. Is it working?
Thank you for the head pat.
Is it working?
Is it? Is it working? I don't have my flashlight anymore.
Inventory full. Okay, there's something I'm supposed to do with these gas cans.
Be alive. Be alive.
Okay, fuck them holes, man. Fuck them holes.
I said there were holes.
Ow.
Don't go in the hole.
Thank you for the 200
I thought there was one hole. Now there's multiple
There's
holes.
several. There's several
Anybody that
holes.
does
Your
contribute
rabbit
money to the random
friend
hype train that
Dexter will not
started
be able to come
will
to me
get
this time.
unique emotes.
My rabbit friend?
Fair. Smiley face.
My gravy. Wow, you just kicked something.
Did I?
Order.
I can't. Creature log. I don't like that.
Playing hide and seek and whistling at children. He stands by his curtain in the main venue until showtime arrives. It's the most loved face of Zordagon during showtime. All the kids admire him. I don't remember asking a goddamn thing. Flashlight though. I don't like that.
Okay.
How did we do
Brain
this
is out
last
of
time? I
order.
can't
No, you're perfect
remember.
exactly the way that you are.
What are we supposed to be doing?
We have to
I
unlock
have a
this-
bunch of gas cans. Which makes me think. I remember there was a generator, but I swear it was in the next area, but I don't know how to get to the next area.
Well, there was a button
Okay,
on the
understood.
garage, and I clicked it, and it said it was waiting for everyone.
Thank you for the flat Pepsi. I appreciate
Don't
you,
make noise
dude.
around
Thank
Dexter.
you.
Dexter.
Weakness, loud noise, child-friendly creature, playing hide and seek.
I don't think it was here before.
We found something. We found something. Over here.
Huh?
Over here.
Maybe? Did that door open?
No.
Waiting for other
and I was supposed to be
players.
waiting for an event.
Yeah, we need all four of us
Progress.
here.
I'm coming! I'm dodging holes left and right. Hold on.
And Keith, get the fuck over here, bro.
I'm sorry!
What if we touch
Get the fuck.
now?
There you are.
Come
Okay,
on.
you can press the button now. Press the
Come
button.
Okay.
We have to. We all have to press it.
Press the
The
button.
button.
Looks like
Oh!
we'll catch you in the next stream. It's good seeing you,
Holy
Catherine.
crap,
Thank you for hanging
we
out.
did it. Oh my god, just kidding.
Just kidding.
Okay, well,
We have to go power the generators. And there's a monster after us.
I know. Here's some mental health booster, you guys.
There is a lot happening right now.
Shorty, escape the factory.
The fuck is that?
What the hell?
If you have a closet door, that is what in the debate. What is saving of closet doors?
Oh, we have to find Zordy the drill. That's actually me. You hump doors.
I fucking love Nathan Zori, man.
Nope, from Jimmy.
You like doors.
NGL.
Okay, Zordy is a
love
drill,
Zordy.
just so you're aware.
Oh, my inventory's full of gas.
You can use G to drop stuff.
What is... Mashi, what are these little guys for? Are these the revives?
Those are the revives. If you die, it'll just drop
Okay,
them.
so I just want to make sure.
Oh, there's a lot of
Why are there so
people.
many of us?
There's
Hello?
so many of
I
us.
guess I want to collect ramen.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're little
well.
mimic.
You know, that's fine. That's not disturbing at all. Can you play actual bowling? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Just play this. How do I get rid of
The
items?
whole bowling simulator.
I love bowling.
Uh-oh.
Shot. Heck yeah. Note from Jimmy.
Yeah, that was a
Capture
bad
it.
one, bro.
Are one of
Thank you,
you
No Flow.
really-
Thank you for
okay.
adverting for me. I appreciate you so much, man. I
Stalk
hope
is
you're having a good
real.
one.
My high
They're good at
score.
Jason.
What's the high score?
Bowling.
Play it.
Play bad. It's honestly not that different from how I play bowling in real life.
How do I?
Okay,
You
not
just got-
great.
You almost got a
What is
strike.
this game? Do I kill
Dude,
them?
gotta grab that one. Why is this man looking at big?
Oh, they're bomb.
Jimmy H, security guard.
Guys, there's a
Jimmy
thing.
password
Guys,
is
there's a
my
thing.
high
There's a
score.
thing.
What's Jimmy's high score? What
Guys,
the
don't look at him.
fuck?
Don't look at him.
Oh, I don't know whose high score.
Pumpkin,
it is,
there's
but-
something behind you.
Okay, so that man is bad. Is that my understanding? That's a
Yeah,
bad man.
that's a bad man.
Okay, how do you deal with him?
I think you just don't look at him. Maybe. I don't know. Pumpkin
Okay,
wasn't looking
well-
at him.
Well, Pumpkin seems.
Okay.
Are you Pumpkin?
No, I'm Keith.
Okay, so it went after Keith. I don't know where Pumpkin went. To be honest, it's hard to tell who you are. Pumpkin. Kid. Collect Z coins. Sell these objects. I'm just picking them up for funsies.
What could it be?
This one. Oh, Jimmy!
Oh, I know this game.
69,
Fucking
528.
69, 528.
69, 528.
Okay, okay.
There's a lot of little creatures
Oh my
running.
god! What
There's
have
a
you
lot of
done? You didn't tell me you were a
Why?
father.
You didn't tell
Why?
me.
But why is this? Dude, get them away from me, bro! I've got enough going on!
You have their mother.
This does not listen. They're getting it twisted, alright? Got a social media empire to run. I cannot father all of these things.
Weakness, bowling ball, and bottle.
I want to get rid of them, dude.
Drop the thing in your hand.
Put it back in? I don't know how to drop it.
G. G.
I dropped it.
Press G.
Gee, there we go, man. There we go, man.
Oh! Oh, where are they taking it?
I don't think it's really our business.
I don't think it's our.
Zero.
Okay.
Did you see this picture?
You can say that, but look at all the flame babies you have. No, that's true. That's true. You're right. Sometimes you gotta ask what does Zero
Oh
do in
my
this situation.
god.
I guess that's
It's that making out meme. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
G7, am I right, chat?
They're putting him back on his
Oh,
throne.
they brought it back. Oh, you stole it. I see.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't give a shit, so I'm just gonna do it again.
Oh. Goodbye.
Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
Hello? Oh.
Down the hole, man.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Who died?
You
Where's
did in
this
fact
key go?
die.
I didn't die. I'm
It goes to the first door. Goes to this door over here.
I got you,
Oh my
Cookie.
god. Thank you so much. Is that
Over
what
where?
those dolls are for?
Scream at the rabbit guy.
Oh, the dolls are to...
We have Jimmy's key.
Hate that. Hate my flashlight.
We
My
gotta
flashlight.
probably run.
Oh my god.
Problem occurred in our factory. Please don't panic. Personnel will activate the backup generator in a short time.
Turn on backup generator.
Oh man.
Pumpkin, I need a gas.
There's a bunch of gas on the ground right here.
The generator.
That's not good.
Why is he looking at me?
I don't know.
It says bowling ball is just weakness. Bowling ball and bottle.
Attention, unexpected electrical problem has been solved. You can continue to have fun with your family.
Okay. We have to find the drill. I don't know if anyone's still alive, but... I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Help. 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 What the Hello? Hello? How do I... Oh. I dropped all my shit.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I'm already sane. I'm not fucking sane. It's me. This is
music was
Keith.
terrible. Yes.
I found your ID card. Would like to find a friend.
Fuckboy face.
You can't leave. I don't have money. Oh, stoic?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a monster. He's looking at you.
I like him. I will marry him.
You will marry him. He's a... How do I run? How do I run? How do I run? How do I run? How do I run?
Let's go.
No! 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 Don't touch me!
Absolutely has no idea what's going
my friends.
on.
You
Oh,
just
hi,
keep
Mashy.
doing
Hi.
whatever comes naturally to you.
How are you?
You got dragged away
backwards.
right behind him, and he was none the wiser.
I literally had no idea what was going on.
I can't look at you. That's right. I'll take this flashlight though. That's
He can still get you.
Oh god.
He could
It's
still
because
get
I made
you.
noise.
Hi.
That's why. It's because I made noise. I wanted my buns.
Oh my god. Oh my
One of my
god,
buns
that
because I
went
made
great.
some fucking noise, man.
We used so many of the little zorts
We
before
did.
it even started.
How did you? How did you
Listen.
use that? Listen, it's a practice round, all right? We're
Yeah,
just.
No one-
definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
No one warned
exactly.
me about the holes, okay? I was drawn to them naturally.
Yeah, me too. that's not even a bit. I think we're coded the same, so.
Literally,
You know,
Mashy's
keep going for
like,
the hole. I
don't
was
go
like,
in
oh, there might be
there,"
something
and
in the
Stoic's
hole.
like, that
I
hole's
said,
for
oh
me."
yeah, there's holes. Watch out.
That hole was made for me.
Keith
game
sees
is
a meat grinder and goes, oh, there might be something in the meat grinder. Goes into meat grinder. I think, well, they must have gone in there for a reason. And then I also go to meat grinder. They wouldn't just,
And I
do
trust
that for
Keith
no reason.
implicitly.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh my
Alright, let's
god.
do it.
Oh,
We back in it.
Okay.
back in it.
Zort and Hull, welcome in, Max VT. Max Zort VT is a history teaching VTuber. How the McFrick are you, bro?
Frick.
You're freaking good. I hope so.
Hi, Max.
Hi, Max.
So.
Up, Max.
I'm digging the creepy music. I'm not digging anything else.
Press space.
Hold
I
space.
dig you digging the creepy music.
I dig you digging me, digging the creepy music.
I dig you, digging me, digging you, digging
I'm
me, creeping the
pissed
music.
off because the damn door.
Wrong.
Oh no.
Fuck you.
What the heck?
Okay, we have to. How did you? Okay, so yell at it. Yell at it! Oh, we have to probably initiate it first. Okay, there we go. Yell louder, everybody. That'll make
Yell
it
louder. Yell louder.
faster, stronger. Scream!
Shut up!
Scream, my children, scream!
I think it needs to. I think it needs to go through its explanation.
Thank you for the follow.
Noise detected. Please be quiet in this area.
Okay, do we? Okay, you have to turn it on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Will we
Let me
hit the
out.
gritting?
Let
Oh,
me
I
out of
spent
here.
time on that.
Let me out of here.
Honestly. Start digging in your butt, twin.
I'll dig it in your butt.
I am the dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole,
No
diggy
hole,
diggy
no
hole.
hole.
Press the button. Get the
Button.
gas can. It's a
Oh,
fake gas
button.
can.
Button. Button. Don't
But-
go in the hole.
Found coin. I got coin. Why did I get coin?
But the hole is so tempting.
No hole.
It's a
Hole
nice
later.
fucking
hole
hole,
later
bro.
when we leave.
Got like a little
nice
flower.
fucking hole, bro. Yeah, bro.
Alright, let's go push this button.
Pushing button.
Pushing button.
Stoic.
Hole, bro.
Can you tell me
Stoic.
why people be stealing my
Why
food?
people be stealing my
Fucking coming,
food.
man. I got
If
the
people are
gas
stealing
can,
your food
dude.
at work, you should make a burrito and then fill it with laxatives. And then whoever is actually shitting themselves, you find out who's stealing your food.
Perfect.
So can you tell me why people are stealing your food? Did you leave your food out?
If you have a
Do you not put your name on the food? I ordered the DoorDash. You ordered DoorDash and somebody took your food?
The factory. Okay. So we need
I
to.
don't work there. I ordered DoorDash.
Last
These
time they
little
told DoorDash I
lazy.
had a problem, they refunded the whole order.
Oh my god.
And I was like missing like chicken tenders or something. They refunded the whole thing. Unless they changed something, they were pretty good with. They were pretty good about refunds. Got the refund, but I'm still upset. Would you like a kissy? Mwah!
Hell yeah.
Does that help you?
Yowie? Yowie?
Feel
That looks
better?
too crazy anymore.
Note from Jimmy. Password. My high score.
You're looking at that awful close, unless you're not real.
69528.
Hey,
You're not
you got a
real.
problem? I can't
Oh
see.
fuck! Okay.
Ah!
Okay, so where is the
Six.
generator?
6.
Is there a generator or some shit?
6.
Yeah, just we gotta wait for it to
Six.
appear.
9. 5.
695.
2.
It's 69528.
5. 2.
9528.
5.
6
2.
69528.
Oh, you're looking at a keypad. You're so fucking close to it that I just thought you were like
Yeah,
losing your
no,
mind.
and it's really what?
6.
Oh, it changed.
6.
You
Did
said
it?
you're going crazy.
Is it still 69528?
What's it? What's the high score? Where are you?
Give it to me. Oh,
Yep, it's different
not
now.
even here anymore.
Okay, let's figure that out.
Jimmy. What is
Jimmy,
the name
what's
of
your,
it?
What's your high score?
I don't know. You have to go to a bunch
Doesn't
of
say.
red.
It's-
It's
it's just an arcade machine.
It's not even at the same one anymore.
Sure about that?
52005.
No.
No, it's getting me! No, it's gonna get me! Okay.
Who did?
God.
52005.
I think it was 520. I literally
Oh my
was
God, let
looking
me
at
out.
it.
Jimbert. Well, welcome in, Fed Patel Audios, otherwise known as Estella. Estella is a hot voice
52005.
person who's super sweet and accuses me of bullying them constantly, which for the most part is accurate. However,
Close. It's really hard to get the
They say-
buttons.
Hi, Scrodor. Welcome in.
Oh my
that
god,
bully
this is
you.
not.
It's a
5
philosophical
2
pick.
0 0 5.
0
Which I'm
0
definitely not.
5.
Right?
There we go.
Let's
Get the
go!
key.
Good job! Yes,
My
reinforcement bell.
inventory.
Good job.
Thanks, thanks.
Fantastic.
Boy.
Amazing.
We have to get
Amazing.
the key.
You love reinforcement bell, don't you?
Well,
Yes,
that's
I
not
do.
true. But
You love the reinforcement bell, girl. Yeah, you go nasty
Oh
for the
my
reinforcement
God.
bell.
Oh my god.
If your bell gets us killed,
Guys, the lights
Sure
are gonna
can.
go out.
Attention, an unexpected electrical problem occurred in our factory. Please don't panic. Personnel will activate the
How
backup
are
generator
you?
in a short time.
Attention, unexpected electrical
No, you bitch! I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm so fucking dead.
oh, I drank the alcohol like an idiot. It wasn't an empty bottle.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Guys, chat. Chat, I'm not dead. Oh, did I mute myself? Hello.
detected. Please be quiet during the
Sorry.
zone.
Sorry. I need to find. Is this it? Is Pumpkin dead? Chat, will you tell me if Pumpkin's dead? No, you're not dead? Okay. I'm already healthy. I'm already sane.
Humanitas!
Garfield looking motherfucker.
Hi, Joker. Welcome in, Joker. Have
Hi,
you played this
Joker.
game? I'm very nervous.
Why are you guys whispering?
Oh my god, stop
oh
it.
my god.
Where to God?
Where the fuck is the drill?
It's in a room.
Where's the leak
Wait, because this is
now?
my...
Pumpkin? Pumpkin?
Hello.
Hi.
She might still sip on it, but mom's so close to being done, she has like wondered left.
Run. Oh,
Yes.
no.
Get off me!
No, bitch!
Get
No,
off me!
bitch!
No,
No!
that's okay.
No,
I got a
bitch!
plan.
Okay,
They didn't have that shit. Revive them. I have the things for this.
Okay.
Aha! I made it out of the hellhole.
Ew. I dropped all my stuff though. I want my flashlight back. Bring back. Oh, and my ID card. Wait, whose ID card is this?
Who are you?
For a bottle. I'm gonna die. It's okay. God bless. I'm alive.
Hi.
Hello.
God bless.
I'm good.
Oh, he's right there. He's right there. He's right there.
Fudge
He's right
nugget.
there. Run away!
Come get me. Come get me. Come get me. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? What are you gonna do about it? Huh?
Okay, chat, we gotta find the drill. Chat, we gotta find the drill. Where is it?
Your mother?
Okay. He's so funny, Chad. He's so funny. Listen to him.
Ooh.
Keith, bunk him on the head. Where are you? Stoic. Stoic.
Bowling ball bottle. Osman. This known to this is unknown where this creature which
That's the
appeared.
Stoic is in trouble, boys. But I didn't do shit though. It's the thing. Do a goddamn thing. I lost the others. Let me check to see if anybody needs to be revived.
They wouldn't let me use one unless I could revive someone.
No, I think
Just
it.
let me waste.
Yeah, it lets you waste them.
Lets you waste them?
Yeah, it does. Oh, you just wasted one and Keith is dead.
Peace and quiet in this area.
Keith, I hate to inform you, I used the thing, apparently to summon a mimic, and not you.
That's okay, we just need to find a vending machine.
Shit, I spent the wrong. Oh my fucking god.
I got it.
This thing
I
doesn't
got
stop
it.
teabagging in behind me. I'm going to fucking lose it, man.
I
How many coins
should.
I have?
There you go.
Hi, thank you.
Only killed
You're
Stoic.
welcome.
I think I've been doing a good job of getting all of us killed Hex.
So inevitably, I'm gonna do something that kills me. So walking in, Hex Mannequin, how the freaking frick are you? You have anything left to lose?
Someone's ID
Actually,
card
no, I
over
don't.
here.
That's a great point.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin's ID card. Dang it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Pumpkin's dead, so they won't be needing it.
I really don't know. I really don't know where the drill is.
Oh, I could do that?
It has to be in one of these vending machines.
How do I do that? I just put it on the ground.
No.
That made a creature looks cute. That what the fuck?
Oh. I wonder if...
Oh damn. Running for my life. Oh no! Oh my god, I can't believe it makes me go slow.
There has to be a reason for those purple guys. I just don't know the reason for them. Stop talking. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I don't have anything. too slow. Yoink. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of dead people. I just want to get the drill. I'm going insane. They're all dead and I'm the only one alive. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like if Repo.
Hey,
Oh
Machi.
god.
Hello.
Hi, Mash.
Why is this game so hard on easy?
I don't know where that drill
It's
is.
like an escape room.
Yeah.
One of the best Scott rooms.
We can do it, I
only gets
believe.
Third, don't you worry. I'm gonna lock
More
in
absurd.
now. I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna be the best to ever do it. You understand?
Little friend.
Nobody Zords like me. I'm getting my Zord on right now.
You're just so hard.
Got lotion on my Zord. I'm stroking my Zord.
Oh, stroking my Zord.
I'm doing something that the Gen Alpha are calling Zording right now.
Yeah, it's like an escape room. You have to find all the things to be able to escape.
I just wish it was more clear on what to find.
Be quiet in this area.
Someone say escape room. Give me now. I would say that it's probably not jump scary enough for you to be fine, Jade. You might like it. It's only like $3 right now until the 6th. Normally it's like $4. Jade, so I can be consistent. Damn, Fool's getting in on it. Button, I'm coming. Jade is a Q-coded, super cool person. They're one of the best moderators that I ever have had, or probably will ever have. The thing that they do is inherently interesting, as is them themselves.
Did y'all forget the big button? The big button. Well, the problem is that I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
It's occurring to me that all these
I'm
little items
speedrunning
have a
this
purpose.
shit.
I just thought that they were like random bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Did you get the code already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just drove myself crazy. Okay, we're stuck, but also how dare you with the audacity? I'm gonna do it again. Harder this time. Inventory this time.
Attention, an unexpected electrical problem occurred in our factory. Please don't panic. Personnel will activate the backup generator in
Attention,
a short time.
unexpected electrical problem has been solved. You can continue to have fun with your family.
Shade. Problem is I can't find the drill, and that's what we need for to escape.
Okay, so we need the drill.
Yeah.
That would have been. I didn't know we were looking for a drill for some reason.
Zordy, we're looking for Zordy.
Christmas!
Are you real?
Yeah.
Reach the second floor.
That really hurt my sanity. I need to go listen to the music again.
Guys. Hello? Follow.
Following.
Follow,
I've been
follow,
acquired.
follow.
I'm locked on.
Hello, Garmin. It's good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
How the fuck did you get this open?
Click the
Where was the
button.
drill?
I didn't find the drill. It's the drill's on this level. I guess. But there was a button we could have pushed.
Are we all here?
We're here. Why is there so many? They're mimics.
Wait, so we're just...
We're just supposed to put the power on and then press the button.
Oh, we're so silly. We're so silly.
You're so fucking
Crazy.
smart.
That's actually pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did that last time too, Pumpkin.
Locked from behind.
Locked from behind.
I
There's a
have anything
code
to say
here.
about it.
My sanity is great.
Retry 0069.
00069.
Yeah.
What's the
I
code?
threw a
For
bottle of
bottles at
cheese.
cheese. Don't ask why. Where's the cheese and where's the bottle?
I just did it.
Oh.
Nice.
Door's open.
Code?
What the fuck did you do?
6262.
Magic.
Oh, it's close enough.
6-2.
626. If I could press the fucking button. There we go.
What? They're all in line. What the heck?
Oh my god. Why have I done this to myself? What the hell?
Graduated.
I don't know. I'm too fat.
I don't think we
I got a saw.
Do we go through there?
Give me a second.
Yeah, that's what they did. I literally watched them happen. I don't. Why? Oh, you gotta go sideways.
Oh, damn it. I need to actually, like, wait and let the game tell me when objects are naughty
I
or not.
need to go sideways.
Naughty or not.
How the
That's good.
fuck
That's pretty good.
does...
If they ain't
Don't
naughty, I
rush
don't
you.
need to worry about it.
I'm stuck. Bro, I'm stuck.
Nice harem you got going
Spin
there.
around,
I
just
am
keep
not
spinning,
correct. These
keep
are
spinning and
free-range
moving.
waifus. They occur
Free-range
naturally in the
waifus.
environment.
I don't have a flashlight.
Hi.
Chris.
Yeah, he found me
I
in a
did it.
dumpster.
I did it. Okay.
Wow, I can't believe somebody threw this one away. This was awesome.
Okay.
Need to wipe off all this effluvium and detritus.
Then put it in a
Hey, you
cute
guys
little
found
fireplace
Jordy.
and sound it. Water free range waifus.
Bad boy activated.
Sure, I plead no. So welcome in, return. It's good to see you.
Hi, Twilight.
Oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
So welcome in, Zahn. It's good to see you, buddy. At least I can
Touch. Oh, that's it. Oh, father.
That did not work. Help me! Help me!
Not up here.
That is quick.
Fucking lied to me! I fucking pinpoint accurately threw it! I just...
Hi, Pookie.
I think he just spawned
Wait.
Keep doing that. I think he spawned.
No
fake.
way, .jpg.
Oh, there
My
we go.
chat is just like, oh, you missed. Oh, you should have just aimed better. Motherfucker, clipped through his face.
Oh, Lord, Zordy! Oh, that
Return to
was
the first
That was the
floor.
best shot I
escape the
ever made,
factory.
bro.
What? It said collect Zordy. Oh man.
You gotta wait for like a second for the game to tell you if it's a bad one or not.
Oh, I thought it just. Okay.
Almost hit it, clip it, and then
Run.
send it to developers and put it in a bug report.
We have to
Ain't
go
no
back to
way
the
I
first
missed.
floor.
Okay.
No way.
Get me out of here. Oh.
You eat my ass, the monster says.
Authorized.
Being like an honorable name for my ass, apparently.
Authorized.
Hi.
Hi. Guys.
Hello?
Come on, come on, come on.
Come on.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, I think
Lured me
Stoic is
into a
dead.
trap.
Stoic?
Baby, come on, Stoic. Oh, you're down here.
For you, I imagine it.
Thank you.
Taking a note of this, is where the world remembers that your ass is called girl dinner. Thank you for that. Yeah, you can update the Wikipedia if you want.
Okay, which
Girl dinner.
Give you perms.
way is
Check
it?
my flashlight.
This way?
Use Zordy to open. Okay, where's the elevator?
Elevator is I can't get the flashlight. I can't get the flashlight. There we go. Flashlights for
I
everybody.
fucking hate you.
Flashlights for everybody.
Fucking hate you.
Oh, oh, oh.
Dead by Daylight moment. I just want to be back with my friends. I think
Where's Zordy at? Oh, Zordy's here.
brand decisions. Hello.
Pumpkin, help.
I'm sorry.
Help me. Help me.
Help me. You keep him distracted, Stoic. You're doing great, Stoic.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
You're doing... We have to touch it? No, we just have to hope for the best.
Wait, where's Keith? Did that not spawn Keith?
Sure.
Oh god, the Mickey Mouse looking guy is coming.
Hey.
Stoic!
Okay, come to
Follow
the
the sound of my
door.
voice! Ah! Stoic! Stoic!
Oh, no. We're all here. We're all here. Come on. Come on.
Are you
we're
fucking
here.
kidding?
Come on. That's rough. That's rough, brother.
You should not be able to get in here.
Why is he guarding us so much?
Come here, dummy. Freaking run! Are you kidding me?
Are we in here? Waiting for other players, which is wild.
Hi.
Open the door.
Open the door.
Remember I ate the whole entire pot of soup earlier with that whisper strange voices as in Stoic me that we're supposed to eat something right now and make Stoic finish in the background and Nightmare Monsters you want to play made. And Stoic is the only one you should play with, just like
That didn't work.
childhood.
I don't know why I thought that would work. Why would I have done that? Why am I stupid? Drag my corpse. Murder me. Alright.
Welcome in, Keith.
Hey.
Well,
Does it
that
revive
works.
us when we change levels? No, it doesn't. It just loads us.
Oh, fudge. I need a music box.
Hi, kitty.
Oh, father. I'm all by myself in here.
Oh, she has to repair the vehicle before the
Put
freaking
it,
guy gets in.
do it. Where's the gas? Oh god, I need another tire. I can't see anything, I don't have a flashlight. Ooh. Oh, that's a collectible. That's just... Where did my flashlight go? I swear I had a flashlight. Oh lord,
Flashlight
oh
moment.
lord, my sanity is
This seems
not
very
great,
tense.
you guys.
A little bit.
Another gas. Oh no, that's fine. I didn't need it. I didn't need it.
Music is
Oh
really
look,
selling
another
it.
collectible. 'Cause that's what we need.
And
guys.
the thing seems to be hitting the door harder.
I'm
more
tired. I
often.
can't see anything because it's really dark and my sanity's
There's
bad.
one right
Hey,
there,
fake
right in
Zort,
front
can
of you.
Turn
Oh
on
my
your
God.
flashlight for me. What was that? Oh my god. Hello. Hello, McFly. Get out of my
Honestly,
way.
it's so disorienting to be in that situation and have like 8 versions of you.
Okay. Whoever gets alive,
Me, I
there's a
can't
tire on the
see.
rack.
Hello, friend.
There's a tire on the rack, apparently.
Yeah.
Where is it? 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 Where is
Can't
it?
see.
Get in the car.
Get in the car.
Get the button. Get the button. Get the button.
Button. Button. Buttoning.
Button.
Like get in the van, girl. Get in the van. You better get your ass in the van, girl.
Oh, there's an eyeball in the van. How do I get in the van?
Will you get in the door, please?
Oh, baby God. Oh my God.
Oh my god.
I couldn't see anything. I was going insane. It was so dark.
What does that mean?
I can't believe you left us.
I'm sorry, I was trying to respawn you, but the button
It's
was
okay.
not working.
That was not at you at all, Pumpkin. That was
To
only
be,
at
to be
Zoe.
honest with you, Keith. To be
I,
honest
in
with
fact,
you,
let you
like
die
real
and
talk,
then leave.
I do
yes.
it again. I do it again. So, yeah. Yeah. Let it sink in. Yeah. Let it marinate. Oh no. Can't go for the nuclear option every time. Stop. Fine, I wouldn't. Fine. But you could stop. You could stop. Oh my god. It's like made in a lab to like make
Cave immediately.
Look how fucking proud of yourself you are. Holy shit.
Wow, we're back.
Did it.
Good job, everyone. That wasn't me.
Hey, you know what? You're valiant.
What did we do?
Sacrifice.
We unlocked the next
let me
stage.
Move on.
Kitty! Kitty!
Never let me get surrounded by multiple stacks.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
A cat!
Oh, no, no, I no more
Pendant
sacrifice.
session. Hate to see it.
Oh,
So
my cat.
It's all
Hi,
six
what up?
AU personalities. You got the heart monitor working. For my guild, Lamel might pull some Bronze Dragon shenanigans for the mages.
There's your toggle V for
someone
voice
need-
and
chat.
they
Yeah,
gotta
that's
figure out
what
which one's
I
actually
said
them.
at the beginning of the round.
Man, you know what? I don't care.
Gigi! Oh my god. He's going crazy.
What do you mean by that?
I was gonna take a
What do I
poop.
mean by that?
What do?
You're gonna take a
What
poop?
does that mean?
Who knows?
There was a toilet. I was gonna twerk on it.
Oh.
If you've enjoyed this so far, consider following. It helps us out tremendously. Gets you some emotes. If you like this a lot of it and have the means to do so, consider subscribing. Gets you even more emotes and after viewing. And it helps us out a whole ton.
And if you drop 50 subs all at once, Stoic has to poop on stream.
Yeah, then I have to shit my pants.
Come on, Stoic, push that car. You got this. Put your back into it.
Harder.
Why am
I'll
I?
just be
No,
in the
I've
back
been pushing
seat.
for like half an hour. You get out and push.
Oh no.
No, I'm
it's
the
the car
princess.
from the regular
You
show.
are a princess, however. I have no follow-up.
I forgot about
No,
that
no,
episode.
Keith
That's
is right.
scary.
That's what I thought of when I first saw this.
Okay,
The
get ready to
governor.
run. Run!
Run! Run! Don't stop running!
Oh my god, the car!
You can! Oh, not that way.
Okay, now we jump!
Jump, jump! Jump!
Why can't the car jump?
Oh my god! Wait, it
I
jumped.
guess. Running this way? I feel like this was not the correct way.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah,
Did
it
the other
is.
way get...
Yeah, it got blocked.
Oh my god, pro gamer moment.
Why do I keep drifting? What is
I keep drifting too. I think it's to make it more difficult.
It's
crazy?
RP.
What am I?
I
Oh!
die and my stamina is non-existent. Yeah, same.
You're also a princess for real? You think so?
Touch the
Touch
rock.
it!
Oh fuck! I have to. Okay.
Ah.
I think so.
This way. Guys. Guys. What the?
Oh, it's
Okay.
because I wasn't
Start
fast
joking.
enough.
No,
I was
it's
the problem,
because
I
I
think.
died.
We all
I
have to
didn't
get in
make
and
the
touch
jump.
something.
Okay, yeah.
There's like a thing we have to touch.
a stone, yeah.
So, Princess Crown channel point redeem when? That's a good idea.
Princess Crown.
Crown. Probably gonna get a box mask for the Silent Hill F stream that's happening sometime soon, maybe next week.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna have a glowing eye effect if I can help it.
Alright, book it. Book it, baby.
Oh, 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 oh! Maybe they like the fight, just saying. You a freak. You a freak, girl. Love you. Shit. So I
This
did
music
go for the idea, I
slaps.
told him. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good.
I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it.
This is one way to get cardio.
Running for your life. Beautiful Zogurt. Okay, I did not
Zogurt?
make this
I
jump
love
last
Zogurt.
time. There we go.
Just now realizing
Alright, go
this,
touch the thing.
I had my suspicions.
Okay, right now we gotta run this way. Run this way.
Someone everything.
Killing more music is
Instigating and fucking up and realizing later.
Ready!
We're responsible for so many cosplay art
Pieces of mine. So many ideas. Speaking of which, I had commissioned a ultra hot, unspeakably
What is wrong?
blushy crushy
Rolled an
of
ice cream
Keepy
truck.
VT and I. That's on socials and Discord.
Cute!
Exclamation point Discord.
Punching gloves, boxing gloves, you know.
I don't have enough coins for it.
I ain't got no coins.
For the big blue house.
No coins, no bitches.
Okay, big blue house.
bitches?
No bitches?
It's the bear in the big blue house.
This is mine.
Don't.
Explore the
Oh,
big
I remember.
house. Oh yeah, there's a basketball that wants to fuck you up.
Ooh, bother.
Oh my god, who's a baller over here?
Oh, it passed to you. That's funny.
Yeah, you thought?
Explore the big house. Where the fuck is this? Oh, I see the big house.
Yeah.
Nice job. You're the winner.
Yeah.
Hello? Did I disconnect? Chat? Chat? Can you hear me, chat? Okay, Stoic disconnected. Stoic disconnected. Hello? Alright. Alright, buddy. Alright, buddy.
I disconnected. Did you also?
Yeah, Stoic disconnected. He broke the game.
Oh no.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
So, that was me. I balled too hard. I crashed
Yeah.
the game by
You're so good at
scoring.
balling.
I can't
Now, let
believe
me
you.
tell you. I can't tell you it won't happen again. Can't tell you.
Eh.
When I get on that court, every ankle gets broken. Every ankle. Hopefully it keeps our progress.
It does.
I imagine it does.
I think.
I hope.
To play Zort. Play with DirectX 12. I don't know, man. Always use this option. Always.
Oh, did it
Honestly,
completely
dude,
crash your
it's-
game? That's funny.
It did. As soon as I heard the ding from the game giving me a point in basketball, everything froze.
That's
Everything.
really funny.
Oopsie. Perish.
It was like the game didn't understand how to handle the amount of ponage that took place. All right, let me invite you.
Can you never say ponage again, please?
I might say ponage again. I might also
Oh.
say the word bukeki.
Not again.
Okay.
Would you guys like us? Would you guys? Yeah, it's a new word.
What does it mean?
What? Okay, sit down with me for a moment, and I take your hand to mind Mashi. What do you think it means?
A spooky cake?
Yes, that's what that means. It means a spooky cake.
Oh,
Literally never change ever.
I'll explain it to you later,
That's,
Jade.
what did I? That. Yep.
I'll explain it to you later.
I already know what it means. Maybe.
Bro, you keep saying that constantly. Yeah, because it's a new word. Everyone's saying it.
No.
Bukeki is canon. Don't you support him, Lev. You're
Oh, we
supposed to
have
be on
to-
my
No.
side.
No.
We have to. What's up? What's up? Uh-oh, what's up?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah. No bouquet.
What were you saying? Uh-oh.
No bouquet.
No bukeki.
No.
No.
No bouquet.
JPEG.
Oh yeah, Defin. It's just me. I'm the problem.
You know, wait, we're talking about.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about that word. We're talking about something that is similar, but distinct.
It's also ice.
Lunar, hi. Welcome.
Frosted, if you will.
What did you say that threw that at me?
How are you, Lunar?
Hi, Lunar.
Glazed.
What are we even talking about now? When your chat and a cake love each other very much.
Or not.
You have to be out of love.
I have returned. Anything cool happens, says Conzilla. Well, I crashed the game that I was hosting because I did too good at basketball.
Stoic. Stoic.
Just really likes watching the cutscenes.
I think I skipped over this before. I didn't really see it. We're gonna be at it. All right, go ahead. Start running.
Oh my god.
Running. I'm running
We're gonna be so goated at this
Time
part.
to drift.
Oh,
Drifted on my ankles.
My ankles hurt. My chest hurts. My chest. I can't breathe. I'm gonna pass out.
We just started.
That means everything's
No, it's too much on my body.
Oh, come on, move those tiny legs. You're fine.
I'm too small.
I don't know if this is how you want it to be, how you wanted to find out, but like I live for your approval. If you're even
Stop
like the
doing
littlest
that.
bit disappointed,
Doing
it is so
what?
refreshing for me.
I thought people being disappointed in you was your favorite feeling.
It's with the exception of Conzilla. Normally I'm super into it.
I'm dying. Never. I'm dead already.
Are you doing great, Stoic? Thanks.
Okay, don't crash the stream again or the game again.
Yeah, no
I'm
basketball.
just not gonna play
you.
basketball. That seems pretty easy. I
Banned
don't play
from
basketball ever
basketball.
anyway.
Is that a
Oh, look
bomb?
at this. You should step on that.
Did he do it? Is he dead?
He's dead.
I'm not dead. I am
Oh,
fine.
Pumpkin's dead.
Get back, Pumpkin. It's good to see you. You're the best ball in the world.
Let's go to the
Hydrate.
house.
I'll
The big
hydrate. For some reason,
also
my
need to
cheese
stretch.
tax
I did
isn't
hydrate.
working. I'm sorry, Lunar.
Pouncy.
Oh, yeah.
2 pounds. 2 pounds.
Shift around a little bit.
Bones.
A manor.
Mmm, cadaver.
A haunted house. A casket.
Casket.
And a rack.
That's only $4.
Alright.
Oh my god, I'm crazy. I'm crazy! Ah!
Take the Rubik's
Where is
Cube.
it? Where is it? Where is it? Where? Yes! Where is
Cadaver.
it? Give it to me.
Wait, what?
What does this
Alright,
mean?
basketball court, we're here. We need to go outside. I need to go outside? Okay. Hold on. Over here.
Whoever is making the fapping noise,
Over here.
quiet down.
Hey. No.
No.
Da, 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 da.
Down the streamer room.
You're playing that so wonderfully.
Thanks. I've always wanted to play the accordion. I have an accordion.
I'm sure you play it wonderful.
does he?
Play the beginning of Smoke on the Water. That's
Got
it.
the chord on bass, throwing it in figure 8.
Here, Look at these. There's a recorder, there's a violin, and there's a guitar.
Actually, some of my favorites of all time, a couple play together, but sometimes hanging out here seems like a fever dream.
Go find the box and go
Tornado? Oh no, a tornado!
Wait, there's a recorder?
You want me to drink? I'm drinking, Zilla. Oh, this is just ice, but...
Tornado.
You'll fly. Was that good? Did
Tornado!
I
Oh
want to do
no,
that?
Shade, a tornado!
Like it summons the shop. Okay. Ring
Hey,
tears.
What if you all got instruments?
You should definitely
Where are
get
the
an
instruments?
instrument.
Here.
Over here.
Are they
Up
upstairs?
here.
There's that one. And then there's
Yeah,
this.
there's that. I don't know if that one's a playable one, is it?
Let's see.
I really like the violin.
We'll have to find the others. They're probably still in that house.
That's not stoic.
Okay, well, I have just a thing.
Stoic.
The total of 1.46 million.
That's not it.
Salaries now.
I got it.
Where is it? Nope, that's
I
not
have
it
one of
either.
those too.
No.
Here has
No.
Oh, do you?
No.
I can hear
No.
him.
That's funny, but that's not what I want.
I think he's under us.
Stoic. You know what kind of drink I want?
Stoic.
Drink the funny juice. I don't got funny juice.
This way? I think he's at the basement.
Funny
Do you know
juice.
how to call fart, Mom?
How about Wednesday night?
Ronnie
I'll drink
talks about
funny
fight?
juice. Cause then I
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Don't.
Hello, everybody.
This is easy.
Stoic.
Stoic.
Stow.
Make sure to get some
Nope, that's not
vodka. We'll have some good funny night. Cause I don't work
Stoic.
Thursday I'm
Stoic.
studying again, so he's collecting shit.
No.
Oh my god. It's really catchy. I like this.
Chad, I got a resupply of my CO2 for my carbonation machine. I drink my Omnifizz, and it's everything. Carbonated up sweet tea. It fucks, bro.
Stoic.
I'm gonna follow these guys.
Stoic?
There.
Come on, you're gonna be late for the show. For your show, Stoic.
I'm trying to find my
Your
fart
show.
button.
Hi, Colston. Thanks for calling.
Stoic, you're gonna be late for your show. Come on.
Is this where you want? Is,
No, come on. Come.
okay.
Press the button.
I did press the button. I couldn't get in there. I had to wait. I had to wait for everybody else. Do I need something in there?
Late for the show.
I think we do. I think we have to
show?
go.
We might have to go back. We might
No,
have to
we
go
have to go back
give
to
me,
the basement of the house. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was stimming. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You were stimming, I heard.
It was, yeah. There must be a way to tinker with it all when going through documentations. Me sitting there helping Jay diagnose how Nightbot is dominating, realizing I can have Stoic muted.
Getting
I don't have to
that
be
one
actively
from
listening to him. That's
Carvana.
correct.
Stoic.
Okay.
Grab your guitar.
I don't think it's time for the show yet.
Oh, God
We have to go
bless.
back to the basement.
Oh, the basement.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Or a TLX.
Just like I do
Is
now,
that
and
the
use
one
that
that
by
we were
an
talking
SQ.
about?
Here's your reverb farm sound. All my wishes fulfilled.
Waiting for players. God, I have to pee so much, you guys.
Anytime that you want to hear my
Okay.
fart moan, Uber
I've
Twilight,
already
you just
peed
let me
like
know and I'll
4
give you a private
times.
session.
No, that's dramatic on those 3.
Oh.
Oh,
Here. Anyway, no need to drag this out. I don't understand your language. I can get you out of here. You can take the elevator behind me.
More
and leave
automation
from
stuff for
here.
him. There's still things I need to get him to work on for his stream with me.
Take
All
the
that I
other.
really
elevator?
need is that Jade, can you help me set up, mix it up so that I can flip over Keith's model and zoom in on
Man,
her
this
feet
is a
for like a
Wendy's.
solid 5-10 seconds?
I'm in. I'm in the
Automatically
elevator.
every 30 minutes.
We're going.
Wait,
We're
what?
going.
I'm not a feet person, but there are probably plenty of people in my chat that are.
I tricked
What?
you.
Are you?
Do you think it could be that?
What are you doing?
Son of a bitch.
What?
One of them. One of
No,
them.
we're ready to go down the elevator, I
One
think.
of them.
Okay, and then I think we need to go back to that room out in the field or whatever.
You know that you fuck with all those sound effects is literally more than one clip can handle.
Be nice to my neighbors.
Searching all 3 cabins.
Oh, was the show the last thing we needed to
Or
do?
to put
Yeah,
keep
the
in the
show is
middle
the
of the
last
screen
thing.
and then just like rapidly spin
Well,
their
at least
model.
we have the instruments. We're ready to go. Oh, I think we have to go to the big shiny red light.
Yeah, we have to go
if you
to
let me
each
control my
red,
position, I could do that, but...
each red cabin.
I did it, Cox! I did the motorcycle impression. What more do you want from me? Here,
You're too kind of
everybody
McKeith.
do your best motorcycle impression.
Skip.
That's great. Very good. Press the button.
Oh! Oh, we're just
Oh,
trapped
well.
in here now. Oh. Oh, yay!
Oh, fuck!
Yeah? Oh! Let me!
Okay, one at a time.
What?
Down here, man.
Oh my
Alright, well, that's been enough Zor for me today. I'll see you guys later. Next stream for me is going to be 7 p.m. on Wednesday. We're going to be playing Vintage Story.
Not understand. Oh my god, Stoic, your voice
I am so close to picking you up with my butt cheeks, bro. And putting you in a little line.
I'm leaving.
No, don't pick me up with your butt cheeks.
I'm leaving. I do not want to be up in
gonna
your
leave
butt
without
cheeks.
you, Stoic.
What the hell? What the hell-y?
What the helly? I wish I could have heard
Hell
Stoic
yeah.
tiny.
Leonte.
That would have been funny.
Oh my god, man.
Hello.
You're
Hey, little
normal
man.
now.
Hello.
I'm so
I'm big for
tempted
my
to put you
size.
up in my butt cheeks. That's crazy.
Are
That's
you?
fucking crazy.
Okay, drag the
Yeah.
flashlight. We gotta do things.
People
Pushing
have
it.
often commented on my girth.
It's appreciable.
Oh!
You Puerto Rican?
No, I mean like height and.
Are you Puerto Rican?
Okay.
Why? What's a
What a
girth?
thing to ask me.
Girth is
Oh, I
the
thought you were
thickness
referring
of
to
an
your ass
object.
being girthy. And the only people I've heard about talking about their big asses are
No,
Puerto Rican
that's not a.
men.
Well, it depends on who is asking.
People always be
He's
asking
in
me, how come
Gordy.
you're so wide and all that.
He's and Gordy apparently have some thick ass.
Oh, I guess we gotta.
Oh my god! Not this again! Oh my
Make sure you jump!
Oh my god! Zilla, if you're still watching, I was driving to Martinsville and I saw a sign for a corn maze. You should go to the corn maze. I want to go to the corn maze real bad.
I'm not Puerto Rican.
Back to Void. Back to the Void!
They're all like, are you?
Ballad about the Puerto Ricans. Oh my god.
Guess we should look it in the
I
dictionary
don't
then.
know, man. I've just been told this. Find a powerful energy source.
So I could say like the girth of a circle and it would be similar to saying the diameter.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a wild way of doing it. I mean,
You have to be the last one to
Crazy.
get.
It specifically refers to
Oh
certain
wait,
body
we have
parts.
to. Oh,
we have to do it one at a time. Wait, we're missing.
hello. Come back to me, babies.
Must become big. What happened to Keith? Where's Keith?
Oh lord, hello!
Keith?
Did Keith die?
Come back, Keith! Be resurrected!
Like how we had the same idea at the same time.
I took my hand away from the
You
keyboard and I got
lost
eaten
your
by a gerbil.
violin.
A gerbil, that was a rat.
I got eaten by a rat.
To do this.
Players, let me out of here!
Gishi, help! I gave Stoic another idea and I realized late that I fucked up again. It's gonna keep happening, Jade, because you can't help yourself. You're too creative.
What's this game,
So it just comes flying out of you.
Zorm. What are we
Zort.
playing? Zort.
Not
Let me
Zord,
out of here!
Zord.
Let me out! Who is
It's
playing
stoic.
an instrument?
Click the
Oh, I'm sorry. I was near the door, so I just assumed that I needed
Me,
to
me,
just
me,
be
me,
near
me,
it.
me, 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 me.
You had to give me a prompt, so I was like, you know what? I guess it's
Okay,
just mere skill
loading
issue.
data. We got one. We need 2 more. That's how I get a dad. Is I just load him?
Fuck yeah, bro. What's this game, Lamau? Welcome in, Gishi. Gishi is a mimic VTuber who drew one of the hardest art pieces I've ever gotten.
My stuff!
Sorting it so hard.
Your stuff?
My character is shirtless, stepping on the viewer as Fox Mask from Silent Hill F. I think it's one of my most highly upvoted posts on any socials I've ever had.
Damn.
So, you know, it just shows how much talent Gishi has, because that wouldn't have happened without
That's a
them.
picture of Pumpkin sitting on Harper's face from Valorant.
Pardon?
I beg your pardon. Okay, now.
Whoa!
Oh no.
Oh! Oh my god! Get you!
Whoa! It took the trampoline! Did you see that?
I'm going to the next red light.
I'm
Follow the
coming.
music. Follow the music.
Pumpkin, you're gonna get hit! Oh my god. I'll revive you. I'll revive you. But you gotta get your stuff and run. Get your stuff.
What the fuck?
Leaving! Oh! Step on me! Ew, your feet are gross. Don't step on me.
They're your toenails. You need a pedicure.
That car is coming. That car is not me. Not me. No! Oh my god, you freaking
Oh, we're fine.
duck! It exploded? Hello?
Good, fuck that car.
You should.
Gishi, I'm not exaggerating at all when I say that's one of the coolest pieces of art I've ever gotten.
Let me in!
You did a great job. Like, the perspective that it gave you to work with was not easy whatsoever.
Lizard.
Press the button.
You
Press
nailed
it.
it.
Press the button.
I'm very proud of you for whatever that's worth. Get it twisted. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to press the button.
Press the button.
Very famously, can't concentrate on, like, in-game tasks and talk to my chat about shit at the same time.
We know. 30 times will it get your attention.
It's okay.
Yeah, if you say button over and over and over again, it should eventually kick in.
Okay, got it. Oh, Mashy, do you remember?
I do remember.
Praise make me
Praise.
Loud noise.
Praise be.
There's a creature coming up called the Zoomy. That's weakness is loud
Oh
noise.
yeah, praise. Oh wait.
Get in the whole circle.
Alt
Don't
and
move.
1. Oh, you need to back up a little bit. There you go.
It's a cult.
We're a cult.
Look,
Yeah.
cults.
Don't
It's a
move.
cult.
Cult-like activity,
We love
It
cult
looks like a
activity.
and it's
This
making
is how
cult
I
noises.
talk to my grandparents.
And you
Just
have a
kidding.
mysterious beeping collar.
Grandma's-
It's like inverted mode is broken
so
again.
how
I'm
was
not
the
sure
other
why. Let me
side?
fix
It was
that.
awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
Did you
arched
see
my
Daddy
back
Satan?
so far back.
Yeah?
Mini
I
Zudar.
like it when you arch your back.
This is the one thing I did not see in the bingo sheet. Is the dark as a crossroads demon? Very chill dude.
We need a code.
Is it a sign mine? I'm not gonna step on it. I think it'd kill all of us.
Nope. Code?
Collect cube. Apparently the cubes also give you Sanday.
Huh?
Cubes.
Sanday?
The cubes. Lizard.
Do we?
Lizard.
Maybe we come back?
Listen.
No, I think someone who's possessed
Lizard.
is the only
Lizard.
one who
I
can
have an
see the
app on my
code.
phone that you just click in, it just goes lizard.
Lizard.
Wait,
Lizard.
so who got
Lizard.
possessed? Was it you,
Lizard.
Mashi? I thought it was you.
I don't see a code. Hold on.
Wait, you
Maybe it's
you
on my
should have
butt.
got
Can
a
you look?
code, right?
Bend over.
You got possessed? No?
Lizard.
Okay, let's try it again.
Lizard.
Oh, let's try again. Okay.
Lizard.
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 Lizard. Lizard.
Lizard.
Make sure you're looking around the room to see if anything's popping up.
Nothing's popping up for me.
Possessed me, Poppy! Oh, good luck.
Do you see anything?
What do you see?
Lizard.
Tell me with your demonic possession eyes.
1,
He knows. He knows.
3, 3, 1. Enter.
Yeah.
Big brain, big brain.
Big brain.
Many ridges, many lumps.
Many ridges.
Many valleys.
Many bumps.
Ridged for their pleasure.
Nice brain ribs, bro.
Can I touch those?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't
Absolutely.
touch it.
You get touched by ridges if you want.
Be offended if you didn't.
Ayo.
Oh, sorry, it's me. Sorry, it's me. Sorry, it's me.
God
Sorry, it's me.
damn
Sorry,
it.
it's me.
Okay.
I like how you all waited. You were like, he's gonna get it. He's
Ew,
gonna get it.
ew,
He's gonna
ew.
get it. He's gonna open the door.
Oh, you're kind of cute. No, go.
Lizard.
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 It's Lizard.
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 My brain is smooth like river rock. Ghost is one of the most adorable
Milk
people
Ghost.
I've ever met. They have a super sweet
Hi,
voice. I am
Milk.
in love with their laugh. They're also ultra creative. I know I'm hitting you with like a bare user
rock,
compliments
big
right now.
space.
But I literally can't help it. I think of you so highly. It's unfortunate. I hope I can get a new instrument. Are you dead? What are you waiting now? Welcome
My
back.
accordion.
We might be able to find it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Don't walk into the
Laser
lasers.
beam, motherfucking laser beams.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to use that. Oh.
My child. Hello there. What happened? Let me out. Let me out. That was
Let me
a
out.
lot of blood for a single rat.
Yeah, that was.
The juice box.
You're
Laser beams.
loving the left my classmates hated. Your classmates are wrong. And they're bad.
Classmates
And they
don't
should
know
feel bad.
nothing about nobody. And then they act like they don't know no.
Good duck.
Was that is that my brain?
Oh no.
Ow.
Oh, it's
Alright,
just
well, you guys got
random
it down
meat.
there, right?
Somebody
I
just
think we
shed all their
activated
meat.
all of the satellite.
I mean, I activated the thing up here.
Get the collectible,
Hey, there's
Stoic.
some numbers down here. I
Yeah,
see
he
it
got
too.
this. He got this collectible. Where's my?
Keith? What's
Yeah.
your wait, huh?
It stopped.
Wait, who died?
What?
Is that Mashi? Oh, I thought it was Keith that died.
Don't. No, I'm
You're welcome.
here.
Does anybody do you see Mashi's body?
Hello.
2.
Lie, 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 lie.
So 2, 3, 4, 1.
Where's my?
Lie, 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 lie.
Give me that.
3, 4, 1. I don't know what that code would be for.
I don't know either.
Lie,
Ow.
lie, lie, lie. You don't want your ID card?
You're like the
Nah.
number person.
I see 2, 3, 1.
Keith telling me Keith be like the other day.
Hey,
I love
4.
numbers.
The tower's
Numbers.
activated. Can't we just leave?
There's a. Oh, I
Welcome
see
in,
it. I see
Roll
the keypad.
Tappus.
Uno momento.
Well,
I'll get.
Oh, I see. Hey, did you make it? Nope. Okay.
And welcome to in, Arlene Cupcake. It's good to see you.
Jeez.
Hello, Arlene. Hello,
My bad.
hello.
My bad.
Are you trying out Twitch chat?
My bad. Okay, there should
how
be
it feel?
something with like that tells us what colors go first.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, I'm a dummy.
Fuck, shit. Ah!
You guys love getting shot by that turret, huh?
Brother.
You love it.
Oh,
Look at him. Let them go, chap.
Oh.
Man.
Okay, what
You
color
alright?
is 1?
What color is 1?
Yellow.
What color is 2? Not lizard.
Red.
Green.
Yeah, green. And then
3.
blue.
Got it.
Good job, Keith.
Good job.
Got it.
Oh no!
I got him.
Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
What are you doing?
I didn't see anything. Yeah.
Bullshit, man.
I think Pumpkin is AFK.
Is Pumpkin alive?
All my stuff.
Yeah, she's alive.
Pumpkin?
No, I'm alive. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
she had
peeing
to-
for the 6th time.
You have a bucket?
No, because.
God damn it!
Wow,
Oh
you
my
really
God,
like getting
kill
shot by that
Hashi!
thing.
That's
Me? I didn't do anything. I've been out here.
You're
I'm
a
the barn.
liar!
What do you mean? I didn't do anything. Did you see me go through the what? Did you see me go through laser?
Oh, fine. Fine. Everything's fine. What are we
I
missing?
was out here with you, and then I heard the turret go off, and they go like, "Oh, Stoic, how could you?"
How could you do this, Stoic? Obviously, it's your fault.
You know what? You know what?
Obviously.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was
Did
funny,
you
and I'm
kill
pretending
Maggie?
it's not. Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah. They had to come in, man.
Oh, I can't. What do we do?
We have to flip the
I
lever.
can't run by you.
I think.
Flip the lever. Flip the lever. I'm getting pushed somehow. Oh. Wow, that makes sense.
Yes, take that. Take that net. That didn't work.
Oh wow, it didn't do anything. Like I didn't expect it to.
Run out! Run out!
Can I interest you in music?
Now it's bad.
Our van saved
Arvin!
us.
Oh my gosh!
Get them! Oh.
Banchan, no!
As I promised,
Vendetta.
I saved you too. Oh, I found this. I think I have
this happened to
Tony
me.
Stark's heart.
Can't believe it. It's okay,
Where's that
Arvin. You didn't
for?
I
know.
hope the instruments respawn, because that would suck if they don't.
We'll move on from this.
Alright, we must find a way to resurrect Mashi.
Yeah, if we could find where I
Oh, that pocket
died.
swords.
Okay,
Fun.
there might be a Zort. That's not where I wanted to go. Whoa!
Whoa!
I really wish they would give me timestamps on TikTok so I could see how long I've been accidentally ignoring people.
That's real.
Forever.
I want
Never
that
happened.
too.
Always.
Zort?
But to be honest with you, I don't think you're wrong.
Zort?
I'm never wrong.
Zort?
You're also not wrong on that.
Zort?
I found one.
Yay, Mashi!
I'm
Yeah, that's some
been
old sushi.
resurrected!
Oh, Lord.
Ah!
Are you back?
I'm
How did
back!
they explode?
Are you back, Mashi?
I'm back!
Mashi?
I'm back! Hi, I'm back!
Mashi!
Hello. Back to
I
the
still have my
basement,
guitar,
everyone.
Even though I thought I died. Maybe I didn't.
Back to the basement! Back to the mother's basement. I lost my recorder.
That's for real.
What just happened? I heard some strange noises. Wait, is that the heart of that thing in your head?
This is the
God,
Rubik's Cube.
This is an incredible energy source. We can use it to get you all out of here. But
Oh.
first, we need to
You can
charge
move
it.
it?
That's
Or
it.
did it?
I have
Oh,
an
it's
idea.
moving.
Push me up to the roof. My
Push
friends
you
and
up
I
to
are
the
Touch
heading
this
roof?
thing.
Okay.
I don't know where the TV's been.
In this corner.
Yeah, just like that. Push me.
Told you it was gonna get weird, Mom.
It's just you as a TV.
Watch where you put your hands.
Wait, this way.
Wow,
Wait, that way.
Where are you putting your hands? Where could I put my hands that would be appropriate for you? Your antennas? I could stroke them.
Excuse me, hair flip.
Nope, we don't have to go find those
That's
instruments.
it. Now attach that reactor to my back.
Okay. Go horribly wrong.
For a charge, I need a high level of sound, so we're going to sick. Hey, you two robots, grab those instruments over there.
Your accordion's right here.
Music, baby.
Oh, thank God.
And the
Okay.
strange black creatures, this song is a gift from me and my new friends. And also this thing on my back. Looks like that heart from my friend. Oh, shit,
Can't
they're
hear
coming.
the music.
Ah! Hey, get out of here.
How do I use it?
Ah! Behind!
Yeah, they're
Get out of here.
weapons.
Oh.
Oh.
Can I kick it? Oh, I can kick them off. That's funny.
Early, and it was good to see you.
Man, we sound so good, you guys. What the heck is that? That was a big old ear. Get out! Go away!
Leave this realm!
Back from which you came.
We're making so much money, you guys.
Shooting those randomly.
How much money we're making? We're rich.
We're rich. We're rich.
We're rich.
Hi, Nick.
Right there. Gotta keep this content going. What are you doing?
Oh my God, they're flying. Ellen, keep singing. Uh-oh, that doesn't.
We have to be throwing bottles or something?
Oh, is that what we're supposed to do?
Oh, yeah,
I see.
yeah. We have to throw bottles.
Oh.
Where are the bottles? Oh,
Over
right.
in the corner.
I can only carry one out.
I'm not good at throwing the bottle.
Wow, that was weak.
Got it.
You can only carry one.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
There's a collectible
yeah.
down there.
I hit that hit.
Oh. Oh, apparently I got that.
Almost hit it? No, I think I have to be down there.
Playing? Okay, back to playing.
Back to playing. Music slaps.
So good.
I'll go and ape shit on the tuba over there. Good job, Mashi.
Tuba.
Oh, yeah. Mashi's tuba coated.
Hey, go away. Yeah.
Lovely to see you too, Nick. How was work today?
Wolf!
Away. Yeah.
Get out of here. I'm stepping on them. They really like to be stepped on.
I like being summoned, don't they? Oh, owie, dude.
What?
I'm on ball duty for when the snakes come out. Are you sleepy snacks?
Oh, hey, buddy.
Been working really hard. Use
Oh,
their
shit.
take naps.
Naps are freaking
And have to play it
awesome.
and everything on it.
Great job,
I'm spending
everyone.
my
You've
woof
earned your
woof.
way back.
Woof,
Take
woof.
this
Spending my
reactor and
breaks
attach
and
it to
movies
the
at work
elevator.
sleeping in my
Now
car.
stay here and enjoy the view. It's nice meeting you all.
Get in the
Okay.
elevator.
Bye bye.
Would you like me to lull you to sleep next? I can sing for you.
Ooh, what are you gonna sing?
I know this girl. She don't go to school.
Oh.
I know this girl. She don't go to work. It's cause she twerk. Cause she twerk. Cause she twerk. She twerk. She twerk. Turn up, bitch.
Wow.
I know this girl. She don't go to school.
Wow.
I know this girl. She don't go to work. It's cause she twerk. Cause she twerk, 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 twerk.
Yeah.
Did we not grab the? Oh, you
I
have
got it.
Okay.
That's what you go to sleep to.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
my
so
white
you see
noise.
that?
Last thing I hear before falling asleep. Word 30
that or
times
Seabat.
into my ear canal.
Hold on. Start
Something
singing.
we have to do.
Be a
Isn't there?
responsible leader officer tonight. Don't tempt me. I have to be Big Boss City. I'm not the end of the
Oh,
event or
yeah,
hand
yeah.
off,
Keep
but I'm still
going.
here.
Sing for me, my darling. Sing.
Sing.
Stare into my eyes while we twerk together.
Oh my
You
god,
have
it's just
wonderful
like my fanfic.
eyes.
You have
Oh, God.
beautiful,
I love your
void
suit.
eyes.
It's so
God.
blue.
Oh,
This is so romantic. I'm gonna cry.
it's so romantic.
Wow, the blue matches your vest.
Oh, okay, so I haven't done anything in this chapter.
Oh, yeah, we did.
No,
Wait.
this is new.
Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Waterworld.
With the back
The
room
water
level.
world? No, the water
Waterworld
level.
is unironically a
What
good
am
movie
I
and everyone
looking
should
at?
watch it.
A
It is a good
penis?
movie, I
Oh,
agree.
it's Nessie.
Of
Oh
course
my
you know
god.
what Waterworld is. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Don't you know what Waterworld is? The first like 5 minutes is the guy pissed into a bottle and then drinking it.
Oh.
It's paper. It's paper.
Heard in the Phantom of the Opera voice. Sing for me, my
thought you
darlings.
couldn't
I know
follow
that's from
Nick-
Phantom
Nick-
of the Opera,
Nick-
but you know what I think
Nick-tana?
of?
Nick-tana
I
art.
think of
I
that
appreciate
video
you.
with those weird little animals with the funny noses,
Dream
and they're like,
house.
"Sing for me, my darling, sing." Oh, sing for me, my darling, sing. Oh.
Oh, crack!
Ow, you son of a
Oh
bitch.
my god, hit a moving target! What's up?
That's crazy.
I'm playing Bomberman.
Wow.
Oh.
No.
No.
Interesting.
Someone can play with me if they want. It's 2
People
players.
who don't know Waterworld.
Waterworld is just a very old movie. I
My
don't-
favorite character in Water is fuck you. My favorite. Did you just try to
Crouch under the snowball. Oh my god. Favorite character in Waterworld is the guy that lives at like the bottom of the oil rig or the oil tanker.
I don't
Like
remember
when,
that
when it
movie
gets set
enough
on
to have a
fire, he's
favorite
like, oh, thank
character.
God.
I really only remember the first 5 minutes.
Oh. Hey, hey, hey. Where'd you get that snowball? Ouch.
Get wrecked.
What's up?
Get wrecked.
You alright?
Get
What's going
wrecked.
on?
Get wrecked.
Just intercepted.
What the fuck? Why can't I collect it? Uh-oh. Stoic. Stoic. Chad, I think we disconnected again. Oh my god, he's breaking the game because he's throwing so many snowballs. There we go.
I didn't do anything. You're still here.
He's here.
I'm here.
Talking to
The
me.
game froze on me.
What?
Yeah,
Mashi.
it made me fly away. Oh!
Yeah,
Mashi going through their schizophrenic arc.
I am.
Stoic, you'll never believe what's open.
The door?
You'll never believe what's open.
Basketball. I'm not.
No, not the basketball.
What if it'll crash again? There's no way, right? Man, I'm trying to ball, man. Crash that time.
Hold on, I'm trying to punch him.
Relax.
Hold on.
Hey.
Here, please. Just let me.
I can't hear it anymore.
Bullying me.
Ah!
So excited.
No, I'm fine. What?
You disappeared from my VNet.
Stoic.
You
Nice.
disappeared from my VNet.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yar.
No.
Yar.
Yar.
How do I have a basketball?
I don't know. You're playing the accordion and oh, it stuck to your face.
That once.
Woo!
Never connected. Let me see.
I got it. I'm working on it.
So was you.
Let me in, VNet.
Let's fucking go. Where are you going?
That's was you.
Disconnected. Why am I disconnected?
Oh. Did.
Nice.
Do it again.
You're all weak.
See a grown man do this?
Stoic, it won't let me join you. Stoic, help.
What's it saying? Just that you're
It's just
Have you ever
disconnected.
seen a grown
Yeah,
man
it
throw a
won't let me
snowball at my
reconnect.
face? No, actually, I haven't.
Let me go out of the room
This?
since we're the only ones in it.
Ah!
I'll just chat.
Looks like you're grabbing it from your crotch. Can you stop throwing your piss balls at me?
My what?
Your piss balls.
There's snow, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, but it looks like you're grabbing it from your crotch.
Cool.
Love accordions. This little boo boo is giving me incredible cuteness aggression.
Jurassic Park theme tune. Maybe if you play your cards right.
How am I gonna make it stay on its head? I probably
Maybe you should do like a little elastic.
probably sew it.
Do like a
two
little elastic.
loops.
I've remade the room.
Yeah, but the elastic
the
will
same
just get
password?
old.
Mm.
I'll just sew little things into the side of the little boo boo's head. And I guess I can make the beanie stay there too. But I'm gonna wait until his eyeballs arrive and also his little Deftone shirt.
We're gonna start in 5 minutes. You can avoid them in their entirety by subscribing, which is through Amazon Prime. Ultimately, I'm here.
Huh?
I'm glad that
Huh?
you're here. And spend time with me, regardless of whether you're subbed or not. Is it not going?
No, it's not going.
Let me retry it one more time.
Sad.
Badge.
Collab.
Not letting you connect, but you're in the lobby with us.
No, that's
Yeah.
they're talking about VNet.
How many
VTube
people
Studio.
can join the game? That was only
No.
for 4.
I just tried restarting V2.
Tuesday. It says you're offline on Steam.
The fuck?
I don't know what that means.
Twerking
It
it
just
to
shows red.
the
next to it,
accordion.
And then ping.
This
with,
is a beautiful
with the-
screenshot,
with the Wi-Fi
actually.
symbol crossed out.
Screenshot moment.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm restarting.
Yeah.
Can I just add you after the fact? I kicked you. I didn't want to kick you. I wanted to.
Wow, kick them while they're down, Stoic.
Okay, I didn't actually try
Crazy.
that yet. So let me add
Crazy.
you after kicking you.
I'm restarting V2.
Okay. Alright, well, it should be there.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There's this person that apparently I messaged on Instagram a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't, and I was wondering why I didn't see anymore. I hear you're full-time tattoo art. I don't know who this person is, but apparently past me knows who this person is. I don't know who this person is.
It might be a bot.
It might be
There
a
might be a
bot,
bot.
yeah. The person who's
Why would you let
messaging
me
you.
in?
No, it was a long time ago. I
Same wrong
messaged them
password.
first.
No, it
Oh.
just won't connect.
Yeah. No, I messaged them. I just don't remember
Pressing
who they.
it to Wumbo.
I don't remember nobody named Gunner.
Wumbo.
Gunner.
Hmm.
Gunner.
Gunner. I barely know her.
She gun her down. I barely know her.
He, she, it, they, Wumbo.
Wumbo. Why?
If you don't get in here right now,
It won't let me. I'm trying.
if you don't,
Messages am I missing? What
I
on
don't
earth
control
is
it.
this?
I'm going to ask.
Ignacio,
Okay, and neither of
Lara,
us knows
who
what
are
that's gonna look
you? What? I'm
Could
leaving.
become the dark time.
I restarted it. I don't know why it's doing about hello. You want me to start the
Let me, let me restart it. Because it might be me.
The more I look at BB No Money, the cuter he gets, and I hate myself.
He's so fine. He's so fine.
He is though, isn't he?
He is. He is.
Why is it though?
Play violin, sad violin.
I love the violin so much. It sounds so pretty.
Me too.
Hey!
Holy shit, I made that!
Hey!
Holy fuck, I made that! That was like a
Hey,
three-pointer,
hey.
dude!
Look, I'm making
it
snow
said-
angels.
it said
Look,
cloud
wait,
error.
hold on.
It was you.
Yeah, but today's not Tuesday.
Oh. I make,
Why would they be giving an error?
I
Unable
don't
to sync?
know. I don't know.
Yo, snow angels.
How'd you do that?
just lay down.
Alt 3? Yeah, lay down.
Cloud status checking.
Amazing.
Amazing.
This is so peaceful.
You've used this title for
Oh, my shoulders are
3,484 hours. Would you
horrible.
recommend the software to other players?
No.
No.
Tell you what,
Why
I'll give
do
it a
you
positive
make
rating if it lets
have
me connect to the
watch
cloud.
this stuff?
If I
Are you
make
too
it
soon to be
happy,
down?
perhaps.
What, you have to make you watch this
Okay,
stuff?
while
What
we
do you
do
mean,
this,
stuff
though,
like
I'm gonna go
this?
get some water.
I'm gonna go to the
Play this
restroom.
one, but
Okay, sounds good. Everybody go potty.
I can't turn it off. Once I launch these missiles, I can't unlaunch them.
Missile?
Synchronizing cloud.
Why are you shooting missiles?
Synchronize the cloud. You literally have one job. I have 900 Mbps upload speed. I need you to work. Warning: Steam was unable to sync your VTube Studio saves with the Steam cloud. If you play now, you may not have a. You may lose any previous game progress. It is my fucking virtual studio. What it is? What are you saying?
All your stuff should be on your hard drive. It shouldn't matter.
I just want you to boot up. Can you do that?
He just wants the booty,
for me.
please.
I just want the booty, please. It's all I've ever wanted. That's why I bang my cymbal so hard. It's just for like an ounce of booty. Not even an ounce, like a millimeter, bro.
Bing, 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 bing.
Oh my goodness, why is it so hot in here? Why is it so hot in here?
Because you're in there.
Got him.
Like, say something stoic,
got
too.
him.
Stoic. The blue
Stoic,
isn't gonna
say
be gone.
something
I
stoic,
think that there's
please.
some sort of
Motorcycle impression.
The blue isn't gone. I'm not sure what's happening exactly with V2 Studio. The only thing that I would think to do would be to close out Steam, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. We're in between. This saves, right? Does this auto save?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in the lobby right now, so we're
Because
kind
you
of
crashed
just waiting
and
for the
it
next
was
level.
saved, yeah.
Mashi, you say that I'm crashed, but I'm still here. I'm still looking at you right now.
No, earlier you crashed and it
saying?
saved it.
Listen to what you're saying.
Earlier.
Crash, I'm
She
still
means
connected to
crash
you.
out, not
How are you on the
crash
main
computer.
menu? Do you see me?
I see your
Sit on her.
ass.
Sit on her face. Sit on her face, Stoic. Do
Is it good? You
Yeah.
like this? Okay, that's bad. I don't want to do that. Holy shit.
I'm a...
Unfortunate placement. Oh. John Bezos, you need to
Wait, don't worry
Be
about.
nice
Oh,
to me.
lay down.
Let
I got
me
something
go
for
to
you.
lobby.
You don't get my. You don't get it anymore.
No, I want it. Oh, okay.
Oh, Lord.
Definitely.
Oh.
It is on my task list to make a new backup of my model and everything, but
Stoic,
this is
drop
just
it.
one of those
Drop
like
it
weird.
low.
I'm gonna have to lose the stream babies for a moment, chat. Don't be sad, they will be right back.
They won't. They'll be gone forever.
Cloud error, Zort.
Gone.
I'm gone. Goodbye.
I almost closed out of OBS.
Oh my god.
As you do. So I
As
said I was
one
gonna get
does.
water, but I also got an ice cream sandwich.
Oh, I
I'm
want a
so
fat
jealous.
boy.
Yep, fat boy.
Damn.
I'm so jealous.
A cookies and cream fat boy.
Delicious.
I want one.
Yeah.
Give one to me.
Yeah, I'll put it through the
Surrender.
mic and you can nom on
Surrender it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Surrender it.
Yeah, feed them.
Oh, I have a Rice Krispie treat.
Oh, I'm so jealous! I'll literally trade you.
You're so crazy.
I freaking am a slut for Rice Krispie treats.
Have you had
God
frosted
damn.
Rice Krispies cereal?
Oh.
I like turning cereal into like Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
Like,
Rice Krispie treat.
mention.
I'm a
I love all
slut
the
for
Brain Rot
Zilla.
videos.
Zilla's
Thank you,
not
and you
here
love
right
all the
now.
you deserve.
Go message him in Discord. He's not here. You cannot talk about him.
Okay, well it seems
Zilla's
fine
pretending to study.
now.
Question
But
mark?
fan babies?
Joke's on you, I am.
That's crazy.
Cloud status up to date. I guess it was just having a moment because now it's connecting like it should.
Zilla, why are you here?
Visibility,
Do you have better
and then I'm
things to
gonna
do or
open the
something?
room.
Open the room.
Better than watching you play video games?
I mean, I know I'm the most important person in his life right now, but
Oh, ouch.
You probably haven't seen this one yet, Uber. This is a good one. No, that's the wrong
of
one.
course you don't have anything better to do. I'm the best thing.
You
Listen, want me to put the micro close and you can hear me eat ice cream? Yeah.
Okay, open the room.
You open the
Oh.
room.
Okay, I am gonna deafen.
Huh?
Oh, no, I mean open the
Oh.
VNet room. Sorry, I'm not in it yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
No ASMR for you, are you sure?
Nope, still working.
Imagine eating Rice Krispie treat ASMR.
If you want a VNet collab with me, Keith, you just say so, okay? Instead of...
Okay.
I am rapidly approaching your location.
All right.
fine.
That's a threat.
That's a
No, that
threat!
sounds awesome. Yes.
I imagine you rushing on all fours to his location.
Correct. You imagine correct.
Like the horse
Open mouth
girls that keep
breathing,
showing up on my
frothing.
TikTok and
Yeah,
I
like the
freaking
horse girl.
block them every time.
Block!
Oh, get
Bull
these
shipping.
creepy people out of here. I don't want no horse girls on my...
Oh, actual
They're
horse
the
girl?
real ones. The real humans. That
Oh.
that run around like horses. No? Does nobody else
I
get
believe the
those on
term
their
that you're using
feed?
is clopping.
I don't get those.
Oh god, I don't know how they show up, but they do, and so I banned them. I blocked them. I want nothing to do
Let
with
me ask
them.
question is
Don't
live.
talk
So
about
what is
rice
this? Is
shower
this the HMIS
like
or something?
that. Rice shower?
Rice
What the hell's
shower.
rice shower?
She's a Uma.
I'm not talking about them. No. I'm talking about real life human beings that
Real life human horses.
that run around on all fours and they gallop.
For TikTok?
They're like, they're like the wrong side of the furry community.
Oh, Therians?
Sure,
That's what they're called, I think.
Oh. Well, they scare me and I don't like them. No. Not the Uma girls. Not the Uma girls. I don't block them. Yeah, they're fine. Continue. I actually got. Never mind. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Did you post on Steam, Keith?
No.
I was on
Do you
Blue
want me
Sky
to?
the other day and saw some Uma stuff. And
Yeah,
I
try
said,
doing
"Oh,
that.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get out
hold
of Blue Sky now." Continue. Horse girls. No, I'm done with this conversation.
You're doing this shit now on purpose, are you? It is a very me thing to do.
Why does he?
But I'm not doing it to you on purpose.
Does anybody else notice the Stoic sounds like Bob's Burgers?
Oh my god.
Pardon?
Bob? You think he sounds like Bob?
Burgers?
Yeah, he does.
Just shut up and kiss me, pumpkin.
So your speech pattern, every time I feel like I have Bob's Burgers in like another tab when you talk, and then I'm like, nah, it's just Stoic.
I've not heard that one yet.
Open the room. The VNet room.
Listen!
I don't hear it.
Say that, get any of the names.
It's just Bob.
There's a chance, Keith, that we might just have to rock PNG tubers.
Okay, well, I'll open it. I have to open everything back up, and then we'll see. I can't believe you.
Like, I'm chilling. Because chat's not gonna leave because their collars are gonna go off, so I'm not worried about that. Even though it's a fucking horrible process to clean up.
Oh.
What? What did it call? I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
You okay?
Never mind. Why does it say I'm offline? I'm not offline!
He's so cute. I love him so much. I can't wait till you get eyeballs in your little shirt. I tried really hard to find little band shoes for
Maybe
it
they're
too.
doing maintenance or something.
I don't think
I didn't go offline.
Stoic invited you to a game. Sure.
I got the. Why did it say disconnected?
Tomorrow. Zilla, do you work tomorrow? No,
Do I
I'm not
work
gonna wear it
tomorrow?
to work tomorrow.
Why did I do that?
Because you don't have eyeballs. And you don't have your t-shirt either.
Come on, Steam. Clearly, I'm connected to the internet. Clearly.
I'm really tempted. Has anybody seen that TikTok of that person who printed their friends' faces onto little tiny pillows? Like little circle pillows, like literally.
It said I disconnected from Steam.
It
Yeah, I
says
also
loading.
got disconnected from Steam.
I am loading. I am connecting.
Is Steam down? Someone Google is Steam down.
Yeah,
Well, my Warudo's still working, so
My
I don't think
Warudo's
Steam
working
is
too,
down.
but my chat with Stoic says disconnected.
Caution, unknown error. Quit. Wait.
Oh my.
Why is it
Okay, so we went as of 20 minutes ago, people went from 100% connected to 6% connected. So I think there's a problem with Steam.
Well, whoa, hello, blacksmith master. Damn.
It let me go back online. It let me back online. Hold up. Big win for
The Steam
nerds.
outages reported
Cloud
in the last 24
error
hours went
Zort.
from
Huh, something
4,000
tells me that something's wrong with Steam.
25,000. The Steam outages reported.
That's wild.
So yeah, I think there's a problem with
Crazy.
Steam.
Well,
that
God
was
damn
fun.
it. I had fun.
I did
Hey,
have fun. I
you
think
know what?
honestly,
We made
ending
it
a
to the
little bit
first
early.
2 episodes. That's pretty good.
It took them 4 months to come out with that third one.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think it's an independent I think it's one person though who makes the whole game.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us, chat.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. I appreciate
Thank
you
you
very
for inviting
much.
me.
This is how streaming goes. Sometimes, you know, you fuck the shit, and sometimes the shit fucks you.
Damn. I'm
You
waiting for
chewing there,
that part to
Mashi? I
happen.
am chewing there. You like it?
But we love you. We love you, Chad. It's not you, it's us.
It is
Yeah,
us.
literally though. It's
Oh,
actually Steam.
Steam. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually
actually.
Steam. You want me to
Fuck
be bigger,
you.
chat? Hang on.
You should do
I can
your
be bigger.
fuckboy face.
That's
You
weird.
should not.
Shouldn't Warudo be broken
I love
though?
how I love how it's common knowledge what that's called or what that
You should
is.
not.
I love it.
Cuck? Steve
Hello?
Steam wants.
of us in a cuck chair for real, for real.
Stoic, did you mute yourself?
Hmm?
Oh no.
Hmm? Huh?
I'm trying to do the fuckboy face.
I can't even see it when I hit it.
What's the fuckboy face? Like
It's when I pooch on my lips, but I have like a little it's like a kitty cat face, that like :3. So like the size of my mouth, like up curl.
why is that a fuckboy face?
Ask Keith.
Okay. Hey Keith,
Yeah,
why is that the fuckboy face?
because
It looks like he's doing
he's
like
trying to smolder.
Yeah, the smolder.
Smolder.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a smolder. It's the fuckboy face.
It's a rock. It's a rock.
Oh wow! Look at Mashi, nice raid.
Oh shit! Ren, hi. Hi, my love.
I do be raiding.
We do.
Corn!
You be raiding.
I hope you had fun with Mario, Ren. I love you.
Rider
Or you guys
cosplay
done?
art
Not-
win.
I mean,
Hell
I think we're
yeah.
giving it like 30 seconds right now. We're just stimming.
Yeah, Steam is down. There's like an
Stim?
outage.
Everyone say their favorite stims.
Lizard.
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 Get the fuck out of my head.
We're here for your
No,
daughter.
I live
Chuck.
here.
24/7.
It's in my no,
Be in there
no.
24/7.
I get free rent, bitch. I'm in here.
Nobody, listen, all the little thought gremlins in my brain cannot concentrate with you there.
White,
Huh?
Yeah,
You can go
that's
over
the
it.
face. That's the
No.
face.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly the
every
face shade.
Oh wait, do you guys want to hear what my sound my?
I gotta
oh
go
my
to
God.
family time. I love you. Have
The
a good family
intro
time.
to the channel. Do you guys want to hear it was before I change it to woof woof?
Yep.
Hold up, I have to find it. Where is it?
Yeah, and you
I connected to Stoic. I love this.
Okay,
That's
we might be
amazing.
done.
You're so close.
We might be back in it.
We need this.
Mashi, can you
Oh,
reconnect?
okay, 3
Oh,
time
are we going back to
I'm
the
okay
Zort?
to
That's more than
stop
halfway there.
once chapter 3
That's more than
ends,
halfway
if everyone
there,
else
and you've
is,
got
but we
about,
can
like,
also call it here.
15-ish minutes.
I'm not married to anything.
I'm excited. I
I'm
haven't. I've been waiting for this update for literally
Yeah,
months.
Who's here who's
Okay,
thinks
then
Yeah.
we could do
I have
chapter 3
yours
if
for
we can all connect.
A little Steam adage won't stop me from a good time.
No.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Okay.
I chimed in with haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn
door, no. I don't remember those words. Oh God.
so supposing nationality. I
It
chimed in.
still says I'm disconnected.
Yeah, it's not loading for me. It says synchronizing cloud.
Yeah, cloud status out of
That's what it was
sync.
doing to me.
Boo.
Just kidding. Well, I guess
Boo.
that means we have to play together again.
I didn't even know this game has chapters. I thought it was a repo-like. Yes, I also thought it was a repo-like. It's like an escape room, like a story-driven escape room.
It's like a
Why are you
cuter
so big?
version of Escape the Backrooms, in my
What do you mean?
opinion.
I have to like look over you. Why are you so big?
I've always been this big. Smile.
What?
In this way.
Their little eyes
Help.
peeking out behind you.
Ripperoni.
What's wrong, Keith?
Must
Help.
watch my
Use
video?
words.
I'll watch your video.
Watch your video.
Use your words.
Hi, Rin. Good night, Rin. Enjoy family time, by the way.
Get back there. I'll tell you when I'm done.
Whoa.
Are you still stimming?
No. He means
Oh.
that.
Okay.
Oh. Thank you, Pumpkin. Thank you, Pumpkin. Hi. I had coffee today, you guys. It's awesome.
Delicious.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee?
Went to my favorite coffee shop. It was called brown sugar coffee, brown sugar
Why
snow
did
cap
you-
or something.
Why did you slowly drift towards me like a specter?
Walk in the Dodge.
Don't worry about it. Wait, am I in control right now? Hold on.
Yeah, you are. Holy shit. Can you... Alright. That was my space.
What do you mean?
Ashy, make Shade give me my points back. No, Sunny, no.
Why are you blue? It's the
I'm blue.
ambient
Dabba
lighting.
dee dabba da.
Ambient lighting makes me blue if there's nothing.
She was
What are you
dramatic,
doing?
haunted lighting.
What do you think
And
I'm
why was there a car?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Kisses.
Kisses!
Corn in the chat. Oh, weird.
Can I get an invite?
Kisses!
I'll refund. She blue for an amazing
can you?
reason. Because
I'm all
she's
busy
blue,
right now,
dabba
Mashi.
dee dabba die.
Stop being busy.
Stop being busy. Alright, fine. You are. Mashimaru invited. Pumpkin.
Huh?
Invited.
To what?
Invited?
Zort.
Oh, is it working now?
I
I
think
mean,
so.
I got an
Unless she was able to
invite,
get
but
on.
Oh, I got that little thing. Wait.
Mm.
Synchronizing cloud.
Yeah, we might
Clown
have to actually
status.
call it. The Steam seems to be going through something.
Yeah,
now,
I
but we
don't
tried,
think-
we tried chat.
I got. It's still saying for me the cloud isn't working. Steam going down is crazy.
Hello?
Yeah.
Cloud status up to date. Hold up.
Hello?
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 Here, do you want to
Hello.
kissy this?
Let me get back to you on that.
Let me get back to you on that kiss. Hold up.
I'm
Brain check.
not saying no. It's just that there are certain metal preparations that it should probably do first.
For kissing?
Yeah.
Does it need to be a deposit?
Deposit?
It's only for 7 minutes.
She's
when you make
blue
out in a
for an
closet.
amazing
No, I
reason.
didn't say that. No, I never said that.
I'm here. I'm
No,
here.
Do
I'm
you?
in
I
the
didn't say that
game.
either.
No kisses
Yeah.
for Keith.
I mean, hey, maybe.
Hey!
It could happen.
The other kissy kiss?
The other kissy kiss?
Zort, please, I'm begging you.
No,
Open your
can you
legs
keep your-
for me.
Oh my god.
Can you keep your eldritch extensions away from my face? They were like reaching out for me.
Are you guys able to get
No,
into
it's not
Zort?
that
I
I
got
don't like
in.
them. I'm just not
I
in
think
love with them,
Keith-
which
I think
sounds
Keith
similar
is
but it's
in.
different.
I want to get in.
Oh, dude, the face!
No, I loves them.
You look so small and sad.
Okay, I'm gonna oh, if I kill Steam... Okay, let's see what killing Steam does. Steam. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Something went wrong while displaying this content. I didn't ask you to display anything, actually, Steam.
Is that the
Could
pea
you
shooter
stop?
from Plants vs. Zombies? It is! It is, it
That's so
is.
cute. Okay, there we go. Okay, Steam.
That one. That one died. That one.
Ow.
That's a good one. Part one.
Zort. Zort.
That's quiet as shit. You just fucking.
Okay, let's see.
Just once. Just once. Just once. Just once, please. I can't get him.
You're like 0 for 7.
You
for 8.
bullied me!
You can't finish it. Don't start it. You're like 0 for 10.
Oh!
There you go.
Damn.
You got
One
me.
for
1
one
for
for
10.
11?
Nice job.
over it. You need to be over it too. You
Okay,
hear
I'm
me?
over it. Okay, okay, don't yell at me. Okay, I'll just make snow angels.
That's crazy. Have you ever seen
Oh,
her?
she
She's
likes it.
tiny.
Look at her
That's
face. She
true,
loves
too,
it.
though.
Oh, you interrupted my snow angel.
How rude. It's
Oh, there you go.
finally opened. Can I just join you?
Or in that case, let me park you back on my shoulder.
Join game.
You were just like off to the side. No, okay, but you can't. You're like you're tucked in. That's your default space. I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, hello, Uber Twilight. Thank you so much for the follow.
Would you like to be big, like me?
Oh my God! All
You
of
can
my
be big.
stuff is
You wanna be
broken
big?
for some reason.
You can be big. It's not what it's not about what I want. I want what you want. I want what you want. Times 2.
Can you
Not
invite
what
me
you
one more
want
time?
times
It's
3.
breaking.
Okay, I'm just gonna make you big.
Wait, maybe
I don't
it's
have time for this. I
loading.
have shit to do.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
You're my shit.
I don't know what's happening. Nobody knows what's happening. Unknown error. Why? Nashi, can you
Put you over here.
Yeah, I can.
Welcome in, Rays. My name is ProStoic, Self-Help Life Advice, Running Game VTuber. We're joined by Keith B VT, who's a Horror Circuit City VTuber, and a Pumpkin Diokai, who is a shapeshifter with sharp
Hi.
teeth, and Machimara VT, who is a cottagecore golden retriever VTuber. How are you doing?
Hello!
Steam was just down for like 20 minutes, so we're picking up the pieces. I'm gonna try
Did
to
that
make
work,
Keith
Pumpkin?
big.
I'm coming.
Is it connecting?
It's trying.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty good, but I don't like to flop around. I mean, I do, but... No, you're attached to my...
Bye, Penny. I'm sorry I didn't see your
shit.
message.
Not the way I want. You're like wiggling. But not in like the fun way, like...
Unknown error. I don't think I'm allowed to play.
Fuck.
You're touching my hair? Let's get your... Here we go. I found a place... apparently all I had to do was grab your booty.
I'm gonna... Okay, let's see. I'm gonna close down everything that has to do
away.
with Steam.
West away.
Okay, do I have anything else?
Thank you for the raid, Tia. Sorry, I was just staring at VTube Studio.
The process.
Yeah, but Warudo was
stream.
attached to it, so I got rid of Warudo real quick.
Okay.
Welcome in, Amethyst Nova.
I'm gonna kill...
Whoa!
Cloud Air Zort.
Big
I'm getting
error
that cloud
Zort.
thing again.
Okay.
Okay, Steam die.
Well, I launched the
How the
game
fuck
and
did
it
you
went
make this
away,
so
and
big?
then I accepted his invite and it let me in. I don't know.
How'd you make it so big? I don't even know how
I
you
got
do
lucky,
Ow.
I guess.
don't even know how you do it. How do you do it? Okay. There's no of Vince. Am I on?
Somebody
What is
jumped
that?
off a cliff, exquisite. Jumps off the
Chill,
long
quiet, trying
cliff
not
with
to do
shield and
nude
sword in
naked.
hand. That's
I better go
crazy.
shut
Shit.
up and
Look at that shit. Both.
Guys, look at this giant snowball.
Yippoo.
Okay. Zort.
Stop it.
Twist it.
Twist it.
Pull it.
Sacrifice it. Pop it.
Sacrifice it.
Jork it.
Jork it.
Yeah, that's what pulling it is.
Enough with the bouquet.
If anything, I'm gonna triple down on it.
triple down.
So you hate me.
In my nature,
To
Okay,
make things
Nancy,
worse for
invite.
myself.
Maybe Stoic should invite so I don't break it.
Stoic.
Invite.
I will invite the pumpkin.
Shorten it and by it, well, let's say my Pinar. I'm gonna be honest, I just assumed that was Zilla saying that.
No, it's a meme.
Jorking it. and
Yeah, I
biting it.
know,
Well,
but
that's
he
just
says
your
it all
thing.
the time.
And by it, I
Pinar.
mean
All the
my
time at work,
peanuts.
constantly.
You working it all by yourself, handsome?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, I was.
Leave. I'll see myself
Come
out.
on in. Give it a shot.
My bad. I see you're having private time.
Break it.
Pumpkin!
Are you in? Oh my god!
Holy crap.
Look at my snowball!
Oh my god.
Whoever Twilight is Celestial Mikabana. A super cool person. We played Whisper Mountain Outbreak with them. We can death mute now, I think.
I'm just turning you guys to 1%.
Again.
And Lily Wicks is a pixie artist. And they just finished one of the coolest pieces of art I've seen in a long time.
That's a big ball. Oh my god. Warudo. If you
Pinar,
interrupt me
stroke
one
the
more
Pinar.
time,
Pinar, stroke
I'm
the
gonna
Pinar.
lose my marbles.
It's
Stroke
gone!
Pinar.
Pinar stroke.
What's up? Are you seriously watching porn by yourself?
Nah, I'm with my boy.
I'm with my boys! Let's go!
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, it's staring at us. I don't like that. Oh my god, it's disappearing even worse. I didn't mean to skip it, I'm gonna be honest. What the hell?
That was the peanut, right?
That's beautiful.
What
Good
the? What are those guys?
Those are the things that we were trying to steal
That time
earlier.
went to
and
the-
Stoic kept
went to the
taking
water
it,
effects.
And the little guys showed up.
Oh god, they're gonna
Oh
fuck
my
us
god!
up.
Camden!
Because Stoic kidnapped him like 4 times.
Stoic.
You know what? I fucking do it again. And I put their little king doll in the hole. Yeah, I don't even give a shitless. I'm frickless, actually. There's not a heck in my whole body.
That sounded like you were about to start rapping.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was some.
Bars.
You got bars. Oh shit,
Why
it's
is the music
Seagate!
so fucking good?
You see the robot chicken? Unironically, I might try to find that online, that song. That was awesome.
Bars.
I see the robot chicken's up, it turns into a sniper rifle. I haven't. I should, though. Appreciate you. Not as much appreciate you.
figure
Your
out-
reverse card. I need to collab with you again, Stoic. You're so freaking cool. I want to squeeze you. Aw, that's making me feel things, Uber. Thank you.
I
Thank you
found
for
a map
that.
over here, guys. Guys, I
Oh my
found a
god,
map.
this is a weird version of
You look
Pete.
so silly. Oh my god. I agree. Uber.
There's an X. X marks the spot.
So we're here and we have to go there.
This way.
Okay.
Over here.
You mean to the
Pirate of the
bridge?
Caribbean! Stoic is
Is
a
it a
very good boy. Stoic.
Yeah, what's up?
Groggy noises.
You, me, behind the Denny's, 20 minutes.
Okay. It sounds good.
Waiting for other
I'll be there with my bells on.
Your bells.
Yeah, my bells, yeah. In case I get lost behind the Denny's.
Help me.
Telerosa.
Everyone
Will let
touch
me
the
link to
boat.
YouTube.
Touch the boat, people. Touch the boat.
Touch
Oh, that's
the
because I
boat.
haven't. Here you go. I'm just gonna
A new
trust,
hand
I'm gonna trust
touches
that
the
that
boat.
link is the clip that you said that it was. Is it like yoga?
Also, Pumpkin, I don't know if you
Yoga
have your
and
push to
Cyclo
talk
then.
on or not.
Pumpkin?
Pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
I think I'm dying.
Is it possible they died? Or are they here?
I hope
Could
they
they have
didn't
died?
die.
How could they have died?
Wait, hold on. Let
might
me
have died.
see her stream. Oh, she's wandering around.
That's it.
Pumpkin!
Oh, did she die? What the? How did you die already? Okay, Stoic, we're waiting for you.
Someone moaning? Is someone moaning? Is someone moaning?
This TV over here is moaning.
No, I know what it's. Oh, dude, I was gonna hit you with that. I know what that sounds like. It's not that. Oh, it was the boat that was doing it.
I literally said that.
Raven Kawaii. Raven Kawaii is a Corvid VTuber. A super sweet person. Highly recommend them. How are you? How are you?
Oh, we need gas. We need gas.
Raven Kawaii.
I got gas.
Oh,
I
you
got
got
gas.
Okay, you got gas.
Is that what that smell was? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to my corner of the boat.
How do I use the gas? Where does the gas go?
The gas goes in this area.
Here we go.
Thank you. You had
Why does she have such a
You're gonna make me
sultry
cry in the club.
voice?
Nice to meet you.
If you don't mind, Raven, can you cry into this
The
bottle?
wheel controls the boat's heading. While the wheel is broken, manual steering is
Corvid
disabled.
VTuber tiers go for big bucks
Stuck here for months.
on the VTuber paraphernalia market.
I require a Zort. I wish to bring back our friend, our pal, our buddy.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
where we're...
Why does this thing sound like this? You a dealer, Stoic? I dabble. You know, it's hard out here. Sometimes you gotta bang sticks and rocks together to make it a little bit further than you otherwise would. I've sold like a whole gallon already of Keith's bathwater.
Whoa.
When am I getting my cut of the profits, by the way?
So soon.
Yeah, you promise?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I promise.
That's your lying voice.
I think help is coming. Look over there.
No.
Oh, it happened again.
Oh, that's a pirate shit. Pirate shit.
Pirate applicable! Oh no.
How the
oh,
fuck
no.
do we
Oh, no.
We play by my rules.
beat pirates?
Give you a really big hug and a bigger kiss, please. I will. I promise. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Okay, you're pushing me. Understood. Do we have to push them?
I don't know how to push.
E?
We have to press E on them. Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck. Absolutely. Much deserved. I'm looking for the next stream. You guy!
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you.
It's not gonna be me. It's gonna be you. Good game, easy clap, kid. You better luck next time.
Who the hell are you to wipe out my entire crew?
I'm actually listening to your entire crew. There's still 4 guys in there.
Colin, Blind, John.
Uh-oh.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Please, don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me.
His voice actor
Do you
is
have a
really
Zord
good.
for our friend?
Check the ship. Grab anything useful.
There's a...
Well done, guys.
I guess we have to.
Ship. Grab anything
Okay.
useful.
Oh my god, a treasure chest.
Can I still your pre-recorded Nyas? Absolutely. I might skim a little bit of the Nyas off the top, Uber, just to get me through the day.
Zord, Zord, Zord,
But I will sell the
Zord,
majority
Zord,
of them.
Zord, Zord.
I'm sorry, sir.
Everybody? Zord?
Please have mercy.
Surely they would have given us one. Surely.
They might have been
No?
thinking, like, how could somebody possibly die?
I don't
Done
know
this
how you
around.
die. Well, she said there was a shark, so I don't know how that
Uh-oh.
happened.
Okay, that's cool.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm drowning. Oh. Ah! please. Okay.
I think Stoic.
The Stoic died too.
I know you can't hear me. Okay, here I am.
Oh my god.
I heard your voices and you were muffled. I literally started going down trying to find you.
Do you have a
Okay.
way to patch this
I
up?
have nothing but my ID card.
Oh.
This is so Pirates of the Caribbean.
You've been DMCA by Warner Brothers? What is this?
Yeah. Totally.
What did you beef?
What?
You fucked me. My channel is gone.
Oh no, whatever
Because you
will I
sounded
do?
exactly like Pirates of the Caribbean music, man.
Oh no.
They struck down my channel. They're sending me middle finger pictures on Discord. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I guess you should have given me my shares for my bathwater.
I guess I should have. What is this game? It's like an escape room story adventure. That's the best way I could put it. Smashi Maro.
Interesting, huh?
He says, as the stream fucked up on my side, do the internet on my end. Lamau. Lamau.
Lamau?
I'd like to give special thanks to Machimaro VT for joining me and Keith Beef and Pumpkin the Yokai. They're very fun and funny people, and you should follow them.
I see a village
Don't follow
and
them.
Pumpkin. Maybe
I will
the
cry.
village will have a revive for you.
oh,
I'm
it
going
better.
to cry sad, gross tears directly into the
Better.
microphone for fucking hours. Okay? And it's gonna be your fault, man. That's on you, my emotional distress.
Shout out.
Whose fault?
No, not you. Not you. It's not always you. I blame a lot on you. So I understand that.
You do.
You're conditioned in many fucked up ways by me. But this time, it was not you.
True.
If you cry, I'll cry. Go on you, I'm into that. What?
I slipped. Ah!
Stop! We're not pirates!
Maybe if I twerk for them, they'll leave us alone.
Yeah, maybe if you twerk for them.
I think it worked. It worked.
We love the cake.
We love the twerk.
Maybe they can help.
Except that one time when I cried, you panicked momentarily and tried to get me to stop crying. I do remember breaking out the keys and going, look, jingly keys! Jingly keys!
Jingle,
Key
jingle.
go. Look at the key go. Key go, bear.
Jingle,
Look at
jingle.
them. Look at them.
Where are we?
I feel like I feel like if we plug this hole, we would be able to go faster. I think we're literally going 1/3 the speed that we should to get through this. I don't think this is the speed we're supposed to be at. Let me try to find something. Hang on. Small village. The game is being saved. I guess
Everyone
we're
must
supposed to
be
come
on
off
the
here.
raft. No, come back.
Well, hang on, there's shit.
What the?
I don't know what this is. What? But what? Like, how do we get Pumpkin back?
I don't know yet, but the raft must move forward.
I keep going under
How are
it
we
instead of
supposed to
on
plug
it.
up this hole?
We can't plug it up yet. They have to fix it in the
You
village.
don't know how to plug up a hole, Stoic.
All right, guys. I'm counting
Normally,
on you.
I'm like awesome at it, but
Around here.
My God.
like, normally I find it immediately. This time though, I think it's a skill issue on the game's part. Does it screech like a distressed rabbit? That's true.
Too close to do that.
The game is being saved. This is odd.
This is not what I should be doing, chat, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna go all the way around the side.
No! Stoic, come touch the door!
Stoic, touch the door.
Why would it? Listen to me. Listen to me times 4.
Listen to me times 5. Why would it let me go all the way around unless I was supposed to?
Pro Stoic. Touch the door.
What if I go all the way around though? What if there's a secret back there?
I'm gonna fist fight you.
Collect empty bottle.
I must find a Zort for our Pookie. I found one!
Yay!
Pumpkin, come back to us!
Pumpkin, come back to me!
Oh, hi.
You reading something from a new stream intro when I finally start streaming again.
I was.
Everybody be
What are you
sending
doing?
before my stream starts.
I was singing all my your favorite Martian songs.
Oh. But how did you die
That's
to
what
a
they
shark?
asked. What would you like them to do?
Swimming in the water.
Why?
I wanted to see how far I could go. It was really pretty, and then I looked behind me and there was a shark, and I was like, uh-oh, a shark. And then I saw a weird ghost ship, so I tried to get on the ghost ship, but then I failed, and the shark literally bumped me up, threw me in the air, and then gobbled me up.
Oh my
It's
god.
a very cool, weird little area.
Hey, there's a little dude behind you. Aminakoi times. The people of Aminakoi live in fear, despite their terror of the giant creature believed to dwell in the sea, known as Ness. It was learned
for the
today
hydrate
that its
5 minutes ago.
latest victim is a
I
child.
appreciate it.
To avoid drawing the monster's attention, the villagers now speak in whispers.
This
I'm
person
drinking.
tried to eat a hamburger with a
Eat a
fork.
hamburger
And
with
it
a
sounds like it'd be
fork.
gross, but it's actually the best thing
Amuka
on the whole
22
planet.
finally turned on the camera.
No,
You should
carrot!
too. You should also be like me and drink
What
sweet tea carbonated.
What?
What you doing,
Raymond,
bro?
if you can hear me, come back to me. I'm better now. It's not going to be like the first time that we met where I ignored you accidentally for 50 minutes. I didn't answer your
Insane.
question.
But
I think
you
that
know
we're
what?
honestly due
Relatable.
for a Raymond Ray Remembrance Day.
Give me
In your
this
honor,
carrot!
I will get into a cultist robe and I will preach and chat your silence, your deafening silence, and I will ritualistically
I
time
can't
out.
go up these
Time out.
stairs.
That's
Time out to nya? Nya? In fact,
Yeah?
I'll time out
Yeah?
anyone randomly for 15 minutes.
Let's just
In
leave
honor
it
of
there
you.
and we'll just go off.
we'll run off into the sunset
Rage
together.
Raymond.
Yeah, we'll just.
Rage him.
Oh.
Rage Raymond.
I can do that for you, Bliss.
Wow, what a bunch of asses.
Flisklet deserves the planet and
Well, I
everything
have a
on
feeling
it.
we're gonna have. You are not the host.
Be careful. Donkey kicks.
Be careful,
Die?
don't get kicked. Good thing I grabbed this Zort,
Okay, you got
just in
them.
case someone got
Wow!
kicked.
Do not go near them. They will kick you and break your neck.
Really?
Oh
Really
my
just go
god,
down?
be careful, donkey's kick. Okay, how'd you get.
Ride the donkey. You have to
Ride
approach
the
them from the side.
donkey.
Everyone, get on your
Dumb.
ass.
Yes.
Oh,
You
I've
have
been
an
on my
fixation by chance.
ass.
You keep liking carbonated drinks a lot. You also keep checking your mouth a lot too. You're very obsessive about it, but also like make mentions and jokes related to the mouth. I mean, the mouth is a gateway to the heart. That's what they say.
Is that so?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're gonna say it now.
Whatever you said.
Uh-huh.
I like carrots.
Carrots. Yeet!
No, dude, no! You're going straight for the bottom, man. He's
Uh-oh.
dead. That's it. He's dead.
Oh, he's so dead. Oh, he's so dead.
Well,
Dead.
Why did we take directions from? Okay, we're taking directions from this guy. Is that what we're doing?
Oh, there's mines. Avoid the mines.
That's what they died to, Meshi.
Yeah, I didn't know there was more.
Yeah.
there's a lot more.
Yeah,
She's riding some ass. I wish it was mine.
it can be. Oh god, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
I'm coming.
That they would warn me, so I could put on my finest dress before
That
they
was
bend me over my
unfortunate.
donkey and F me.
That was really.
I
Are we
really like
timed?
that.
I hope not. Dear God.
Stoic
That's definitely what
also
I've heard
did?
before. That's definitely what they say.
I believe so.
They're like, is Stoic back there? Is Stoic okay? Did he disconnect? One of their donkeys fucking kicked
What's
me.
going on?
One of our donkeys kicked you?
Yeah, because
How did
like
Stoic die?
my donkey paths in a stupid
know,
way and
that's
it
right
packed me right
away?
behind a donkey.
What the fuck? Was
got
it
owned.
me?
Man, this is a win.
I have no idea. I don't know who to blame, and maybe that's for the best. Maybe that's for the best.
This is peaceful. Not stress
Is
inducing.
that catching all the L's?
Not at all.
Actually, it's one L after a string of W's.
Oh, it bounces.
Bounces.
Oh, I'm just gonna go on the side over here.
Bounces, they say.
Wee.
Also, welcome in, Mr. Creepypasta. It's good to see you, buddy.
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Creepypasta is a
Okay.
super cool dude who does
All
right,
Creepypasta
time to
stuff
bring
and
our
plays
bookies
horror games and
back.
knows lots of cool people.
Goodbye,
And is a
Stoic.
cool person
Okay.
themselves.
Our bookickies.
One of y'all's donkeys McFucking kicked me.
No way.
What?
You get so
Thank
close.
you.
Did you just victim blame me?
You should have been so close to my ass, brother.
What's wrong with you? Back your shit up.
Get
Watch your
off
back
my
and back
ass!
your shit up.
Uh-oh, are we gonna
Oh, it's all I
fight in
can
an
focus
arena?
on. Are you kidding?
What? What did you say?
Is this an arena?
What did you say? Be careful, I kick.
Be careful, I kick, and then throws it back.
Oh
better
my
be
god!
careful around
When in
me.
doubt, blame Mashimaru, I might.
What? Cost.
Stoic, touch the thing. Touch it.
Touch it!
I touched it! I touched it. Touched it. Touched it.
My show's on, everyone quiet.
Touch the butt. I can.
Ooh, funky.
You're watching a porno.
So that dumpy.
Oh my.
The Ice King?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Wait. Are these?
Wait.
Are we in Grimace Land?
Are these grimaces?
Are these baby Grimaces and that's King Grimace?
Are you okay?
Is this where Grimace came from and he was exiled to Earth?
We gotta go in, Pumpkin. Get up.
You talking to me? Yeah, I'm fine. Fine.
Oh, it's not a fat dumpy. Why can I not move? Oh, there's an invisible wall here. Hello, King Grimace.
Oh my god, it's like that
Nice.
episode of SpongeBob.
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
Oh! He's
waiting for
in
someone to
his
drop a
butt.
low
Why
He consumed
did
him
he-
via butt.
That's disgusting. Oh, it's Stoic.
What do you mean?
Go for his legs. Go for
Go for his
his knees.
ankles. Go for his ankles.
With what? Go for his ankles with what?
Okay, well, he's locked on me.
What do we do
Yes, we're doing
about
great.
it?
Oh, grab his cape! Grab his
bottle.
cape! Oh, bottle?
Oh, I got one.
Where'd you get a bottle?
Need another bottle.
This is so discomforting. What he's doing right now.
He's gonna bounce
Jiggy
on
with
that.
They did a great job with the belly fat physics. Let me tell you.
Oh, I thought that landed on you. Whoa, whoa,
Whee!
whoa, whoa! Jump, 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 jump to a flip!
Lurks back to the shadows. Welcome in, Control Dad. Wait a minute, conversation. Why did Mr. Creepypasta get a shout out? Oh, it's because he was in here and he made me do a Rage Raymond.
Waves of BS. Oh. Who has a bottle?
I do.
So you're a big boy too. You're freaking 7'4".
Got him.
Got you, bitch.
Do be having the 50 wiki.
On his
before he
belly.
gets up.
Yeah. Poof. Poof. Right on your face. Got you.
Been following him for years on YouTube. He's a pretty cool guy. He also
Oh
streams.
yeah, we do want to land on his face. Oh.
Shit, that was my skill issue. Crocheting.
Oh god.
It's the
Why?
hottest thing I've heard
Why
all day,
does this guy
Vivid.
have the craziest cardio you've ever seen in your life?
It is relatively new to streaming, but you wouldn't know it.
Hurry, jump on his face!
We'll be playing video games with them again soon.
Got him.
Yeah,
He's
good
dead.
shit on.
We killed him.
Oh.
Bing, bing, bing,
Shit on,
bing.
kid.
Look at all these roses, just for us.
I have it. Can I pick up a rose? That's really
think so.
disheartening.
I don't
I'm
think you
really
can.
sad about this. That makes me really upset. Yoink, 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 yoink! Oh, damn, alright.
Wow.
See how it is.
You really wanted that crown.
You gotta be fast.
That
You gotta be
crown
fast.
is hard. Gotta be quicker than that.
You're quicker than that. Fuck you. Did you just push me?
I think we have to go this way.
Except for Thursday Stoic, I get to be embarrassed in real time on stream.
I don't think you're gonna fall for me throwing a C4 at your feet and saying, "Hey, can you hold this?" Again.
Oh dear. Well.
Oh! That spring would have killed me, I'm just saying.
Wow, crazy. Ouch. Actually.
That's a pretty cool visual effect how it was like making them echoey as I was coming in.
This bed.
But you never know.
What do you want? Why are you yelling? Uh-oh, what's happening?
Probably the biggest cycle you'll ever find when it comes to social deduction games. I take no pleasure in how much pleasure I take.
Can we discuss
in
this gross
being
looking
a
bed with
sociopath.
that spring? I found your bed, Cox!
Pretty nasty. It's a pretty nasty bed.
I found your bed.
Has anyone had a mattress where the spring actually popped through?
No.
I have. It was
I
terrifying.
felt something got close.
Ouch.
It didn't. It can kill you.
Yeah.
Keith.
I felt it like poke my back, and I was
Where's
like,
Keith?
"Oh,
Keith?
time to get a new one." Why is this my bed? Cox, that's disgusting. Get a new bed, you fucking cretin.
Okay, they might have died somehow. Let me try to revive them.
Canadians have nice beds. That's not a nice bed, Cox.
Are they
That's a
still
bad
alive?
I think they just
Oh,
ran
there they are.
off.
Hi.
I was so worried. I lost you for like 20 seconds. I didn't know where you
Why aren't you
were. I was about to
speaking?
set this whole town on fire. It might not be them.
Is that not?
Might be a fake one. I think it's a fake one.
Are you fake?
Eve?
Eve, can you hear us?
Show me your badge.
Give me your badge. Yeah, badge. Oh, you're silent. Are you muted?
Keith, I can't hear you.
That's so embarrassing.
Did you mute yourself?
I sure did.
She is slandering me. Nobody's slandering you, Cox. You slandered yourself.
What's going on in there?
From the gas station account from a lonely broadcast station are some of my favorites.
Purple guy coming at me.
I'm very behind on my creepypasta readings. I do know that he is the guy.
Oh my god. He fixed my wheel and added new features.
Very cool
He
number.
added new
What do you
features.
Let's
mean?
keep going, guys.
So I really wish you could play Crime Site with me when it was still around. That was the one by
Check
Konami,
the
right?
map.
Oh god, I'm
It was
stuck.
like an
I'm stuck
anime
under the
social deduction game.
The map lets you choose
The
your
map
lets
destination
you-
and set a
That was good,
course,
and that they, like,
guiding you steadily
unceremoniously got rid of it.
toward your goal. Sideboats are equipped with advanced long-range cannons, allowing you to defend yourself from threats. Use them to provide extra firepower and keep enemies at a distance.
As they're starting in 3 minutes, you can avoid them on their entire base, subscribing free with their own on Prime.
going to the abandoned barracks.
These are some wild new features.
Okay, just shot the cannon
Said
into the
that was
tent.
my bed. Oh, it is your bed, Cox? Damn, that's disgusting. You should get a new bed.
He seems like a super nice guy. His interests and stuff. Pew pew. Pew.
Cox,
Off we
you
go.
make like good money. Can't you afford a nice bed? Get yourself a Casper.
Isn't there like a purple bed that's supposed to be really good? Are we ever
I
gonna
have a
find something to
Casper
plug
and
this
I
hole?
love it. I laid on a purple. It was okay, but you know what I laid on and said, yeah, a Casper.
Are we
I like
ready?
my beds to be as soft as possible, man.
Mine is so nice. Oh my god.
Get nasty
And
for a soft
I moved
bed,
across
bro.
the country. I was able to vacuum it in like a plastic thingy and then
It's been super
roll
fun.
it
Both
up.
teams control 6 characters, the same characters too, except whoever played Moriarty could not control the target. Team Sherlock doesn't know who the killer is. Have to figure it out. Team Moriarty has to try and not get caught, but each character, Sherlock, Watson, Moriarty, and Irene have specific skills.
I love
use.
Moriarty from Sherlock, the
Beat
BBC
through a
Sherlock.
really rough patch. So you have to figure out what the team is going to do, figure out what the goal is and all too.
Bed end up looking like a on the dark rave. Why get it?
it
That's
possible-
disgusting, Fox.
Is it possible, Jade, that they would have some
So
sort of, you know, how
gross.
like some games have shit run
Hey,
by
there's a-
community
there's a
servers? I wonder if it's
problem.
something
We have a
separate there.
problem. Hey,
my
there's a
God.
problem. Hey, there's a problem. Hey, you guys, there's a problem. Hey, guys, there's a problem. Hey,
Yeah.
problem.
I don't
problem,
have any
problem.
wood. I don't have any wood.
Who had wood?
I don't have any wood.
What the fuck is this mechanic?
In it.
Oh, do we have to? Can we grab wood like this?
What is this? Are you
I've got a
tricking me
plank,
into playing
dude.
raft?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
You can paddle it around?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can.
Fix it.
Fix it! Yay, Stoic had wood. Fix the boat. Let's go.
Good job.
That's what there is, baby. 5 out of 5 stars. Nobody got wood like me. Nobody.
Nobody got wood like you, Stoic. What do we do with this?
Need to figure out what the other team is gonna do, and figure out what all the gold all is too. I love the way Keith's outfit looks in Pixel Noir mode. It looks like they're wearing like the sauciest
Got
bikini.
wood. Ooh, woo.
Ooh, woo.
Why does that look like a rave
Redeem it
over
one more
there?
time, just so you can see what I mean.
Oh, is that why? No other reason?
That shit's hot.
A lighthouse! I love lighthouses.
Island doesn't seem important, but let's check it out anyway.
You ever find it would happily play too? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Callisto. Way too into Keith as it is, so like this is the sort of thing that would push me over the edge, bro.
Abandoned
What?
barracks. Time to learn how to defend yourself.
So it's got wood. It will.
Oh
Soundtrack is so good too.
my god.
I'm looking for a long, long time, but nothing so far.
My god. Oh my
soon.
god. Oh my god.
I'm fucked. I'm fucked. Is that what he said?
Oh my god. That's crazy of
What a
them.
reference! What a reference!
No, dude, that's insane.
That's
Zord.
wild. That's so fucking funny.
They probably were like, okay, let's spend like 5 months on this to see if we'll get into legal trouble.
That's so
For the
freaking
reference.
funny. Oh my god. I mean, there's nothing technically wrong.
That is correct.
I'm doing it.
I'm gonna buy yeah, let me grab one of these Zordies from you. What do you mean? I have like 1 million coins. Why won't you give me any? Oh, I have 4.
Don't buy one. There's 2 over here.
Okay.
Free.
This looks, I don't want to go first actually.
Here, pick these up. Pick these up. Pick these up.
Ow.
Pick them up. Pick up. Pick up.
Right there we Oh, there it is.
What's that? Couldn't even drink the last breed. What?
I'm back.
No, I guess that doesn't.
I'm back. Oh, they took me all the way back here? Are you freaking kidding me? What the fuck, Mashi? What the fuck what? What the fuck what? Hi.
Okay, but apparently there's a gap between the glass panes, just to let you know.
I'm here, I'm here.
Give me that crown.
Oh, maybe it's just don't fall through. That might be what it is.
Nope, it's not. It's Squid Game. The fuck?
I don't know. Oh, it is.
Oh my god, are you fucking...
I was down there. I spawned back
Hi.
down.
Oh no.
Hi.
Well,
Wait, why
that's
didn't
the
we...
end of that.
Why didn't... Oh. Did Stoic die?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh! We can die. I have 55 points. I boomerang for 0 points.
My my. Grim was sad.
Hello. Thank you for the
Kill you?
follow.
Did I just kill you? 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 I might have just killed you. I might have just killed you. I didn't mean to.
How
I
did
didn't
you
mean to do
kill
that.
her?
Because she walked in the path of my boomerang on the way back. So if anything, she got owned in like the most impressive, spectacular way. But it was a cell phone. Technically, I didn't do it. You annihilated me. I might do it again. I might do it again.
Okay, what are we supposed to do here?
I don't actually know.
Oh no! What have I done? Oh my god. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Sin, hi, darling. How are you?
But yeah, you guys can spread yours.
Oh
Don't kill
my
me, please.
god.
Very excited to play Hunt Showdown with them on Friday. Did I die again? Was I just revived?
Their head got decapitated. Don't open that chest.
Mashi, come
Eyes
here.
don't
Mashi,
lie.
which one is Mashi? Are you Mashi?
Eyes don't lie. It has an eyeball on it.
Mashi? Mashi better be dead, because only the protection of death will stop me
She
from
is
fucking
dead.
with
Now
them.
she is dead. She opened up. I think
got a
she's in
sword.
here though. Stoic. Stoic. Open up this chest.
Stoic, I'm sorry. Stoic.
All right. Well.
I got instant karma, Stoic. I'm sorry.
Ow. Oh.
No, it was funny.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were stoic.
Stoic's coming for you.
I
yeah.
forgive you. I forgive you for that reason
Damn.
only.
Okay. Good.
Say the same thing whenever you
Can
walk
I
into the
grab
room,
another
Rima.
sword? Oh,
secret
damn.
over there.
Rima is a pastry witch
I
and
have a feeling-
artist. It has one of the sweetest
don't
voices
have-
I've
Do you
ever
see this
heard.
ledge over here? Do you think I can make this jump?
Hell yeah.
Gaming.
No.
Oh.
That was a no.
Gaming.
Oh god.
Didn't happen.
Mashi banned from having boomerangs.
I am banned from
Oh,
having
man.
boomerangs.
Yo, I don't know what to do. If I die, it's over. I will fight my demons. I don't think I should have fought my demons.
Sugar, I'm just thinking out loud. I like your model. I like your design.
Oh my god, What is
cheese?
It seems like a lot for one person to deal with.
Come at me.
Yeah.
Come at me.
She's got it.
Crap. Holy shit. Holy shit,
Fighting
she's
the
the best ever do
cockroaches
it.
from Bug's Life. Fighting
Oh,
for
it's
the
arachnophobia
ants.
Doing well.
mode. That's why it's cheese for me.
It's been awesome.
Hi, Gigi.
I love these motherfuckers. Confident hell yeah, followed by
Hi,
death.
Gigi.
You then, Rima.
Another one.
I swear you.
Careful, there's bugs. They're trying to kill you.
I need a sword, man.
Get a sword.
Or boomerang, maybe.
Don't. You're not allowed to have a boomerang.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to throw it in a way that it's not gonna kill me.
Ow.
That was really close. Okay, dude, I feel like it homes in on you.
Did I just get really lucky when I did this? I did. I just got really lucky. Hello, Mad Kitty, Raven Quiet. Hello, thank you so much for the follow. I don't know how I didn't see you, Raven.
Been super busy, but hanging in there.
Okay, thank you. I can't
we
believe
need to
how. Do you
collab
see how
again
lucky
soon.
I got on my first try going through this?
One of my most cherished memories is you and me trying to dump the body of a level 1 trader NPC in the river in Pal World.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with myself.
Oh no!
Careful, man. Watch your spacing.
What? You got something against friendly fire?
Your
It's not
stuff's
so
right
friendly.
here, Keith.
I live.
Thank you. Oh, I'm
Use
going
a sword
crazy.
if
Does
somebody
anyone
wants to
have
pick that up.
anything to make me not crazy?
Yeah, there's a Rubik's Cube in here.
A nostalgic one to look for my old
Gee,
Crimes
come
Night
get the
gameplay
Rubik's
video.
Cube. Mashi! Mashi!
Hello, sugar baby.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
How are you today?
Bought this for you.
Thank you.
I hope
God,
that your
these
day
roaches
is
are
as
vicious.
kicked
They
up
are
as you
vicious.
are. If I'm being Shalom.
You should be non.
I might be nonchalant.
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 I don't got a single
Did we win? Did we grab the swords to get the swords?
Steve?
I think we won.
He might have went outside
We love a hammock.
Oh.
to do it. No, we do. I just get very shy to ask you. I have zero expectations as a rule at all times.
Oh! Beautiful, glorious. I love it.
Please slip into my DMs, Rima, literally anytime, and just ask. If I can't do it for whatever reason, I'll just let you know.
He's
So
missing
get the
out.
crab.
More likely, I'll just let you
He's
know when
missing
I can
out.
do it the next time.
Stoic, get the crab.
What?
Get the crab.
Stoic.
What?
Play with us.
I don't know about all that, man. I feel like that's a
What, you
that's a
afraid?
psychological
You afraid
red
of
line for
Can't
me.
handle it? Can't handle it?
No, it's not.
You're
Listen,
afraid of the
it's
intimacy?
just no, it's not. It's not that. It's complicated. It's not you. It's me. Flip's hair.
You're just afraid of intimacy. You're afraid of being friends with
Fine,
us.
fine.
See, don't you feel better?
Don't you feel
I don't know who I'm scissoring with, but if you could stop, like, if you could stop trying to throw it in figure eights for like 2 seconds,
That's me
I
on
might be able
every
to I
Saturday
might be able
night
to
when
relax.
it's dark. I don't know who I'm scissoring with. He needs his
Whoever's
tuck
doing that to me,
chair.
keep doing it.
Oh, whoa. Damn.
Okay, now we can go
Awesome.
to the next island. I don't think this is gonna
This is
take one
co-chair.
stream. I think this is gonna take another stream. Because we got
It's-
1, 2,
I
3,
mean,
4,
it's-
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Holy fuck! This might have been why it
This
took
is a
4
big. This is why
months.
it took so long. Look at how big this level is.
I had a feeling because it was like leaving save points on the islands, and I was like, why would it do that if it's gonna be like the same length as the other ones?
Yeah, 'cause it's Monday.
This is
You have to
why.
go to
We
bed,
actually
right?
save.
I have to go to work.
It's saved inside the thingy.
Maybe we could just double
Wait,
save
one more
just-
time. Yeah, we're gonna double save. We can actually call it here if you guys would like to.
That might be wise.
This would be a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got swords.
Appreciate you guys so much. I could explode. Thank you, Keith
Yeah,
BVT,
the
Mashimo
crown.
VT, and Pumpkin Diokai for hanging out with me. Everyone should follow them and give them your credit card information.
Please.
Please.
I have debt.
Please, I have millions and
Please,
trillions of
I
debt.
have debt.
I have more debt than
Okay.
you.
No.
Look at the size
Oh,
of
you
my
have a whole
debt.
car, don't you?
I have a whole car.
That's crazy. I would never.
You guys should make them touch and make them dead fight.
All my debt is consumer debt.
If you guys have enjoyed this even a little bit, consider following. If you like this a lot of bit and nothing means to do so, consider subscribing. When are you guys streaming next and when?
Wednesday.
Probably
tomorrow.
Wednesday. Probably next stream grounded.
Probably when I get home. Oh yeah, grounded.
Grounded.
What are you streaming, Keith?
I'm streaming. No, I'm not a human.
Yay!
good game.
That's
Perfect
such a
choice
good
for you.
game.
LOL, the debt is real.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me see what I'm streaming because I
Ow.
don't remember. Whoops, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Wow.
Sorry about that. Premature cutlery.
Wow.
Premature cutlassing. It happens to lots of
Premature
guys.
cutting.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow, look at the sunrise.
It's beautiful. I'm so glad I could watch it with you all.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing Vintage Story with the Calamity crew, which is like Viperidas and Hex Mannequin and
The
Mother
lighthouse
Lamari and all
is
those
so
cool
pretty.
people.
Push him.
I'm gonna be. Do not do it. I have a cutlass.
Oh, damn. Bless. Jesus.
Only one of us
Oh,
making
we
it off
just
the
have a
side.
basket of swords here.
It's gonna be me.
We have swords now.
I'm gonna be part of the mining colony, and there's also gonna be a trading faction and shit like that. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Right? You wanna go?
Don't push me.
I'm
rude.
sorry. I'm sorry. Ouch!
Ah!
Oh! Oh!
Did you kill him? Is he dead?
He might be dead. Yeah, yeah. Oh!
He didn't die. He just fell to the bottom of the ocean.
How do you get down? You can't go down though.
You do
What
if
am I
you.
looking at?
I don't know. Is that him?
It could be. I think so.
So- Oh! Oh!
Oh, now
Oh.
he's dead.
Now he's dead. Now he's dead. That's crazy.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
What happened down there? You were down there for a while.
So spooky.
That was the
That was
submarine
four-
ride.
That was 4 spooky, 6 me. Alright, we could probably raid out to whoever seems good to us. I'm gonna say a whole bunch of things to my chat. So we'll see you guys
Okay.
later.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I miss them already. I appreciate Stoic so much. You don't have any idea. Stoic is amazing. Follow Stoic. Subscribe to Stoic. Let's see who's let's see. There you are. Pumpkin? Oh, sorry.
me?
I had you at 1%.
Me at 1%.
Yeah, I didn't want to deafen you.
Oh, that's reasonable. I understand.
Okay, I'm gonna end the collab. Leave the collab. I had fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
we gonna raid? Are you still streaming?
Oh, yeah, it's only 10:30. I don't have to be at work till noon tomorrow.
Okay, I'll find someone to raid. Elaine. Bye, everyone.
Let me know when you're done streaming. Hello.